And we welcome you to Durham Field in this presentation of the South Atlantic Conference on the Bear Sports Network, presented by MBA Roofing. Sack play continues this weekend between the Bricks as the 14-7 Anderson Trojans have made the 140-mile trek here to Hickory, North Carolina for the first of three this weekend between Anderson and Lenoir-Rhyne. Eric Bach, Jason Stubbe, delighted you are spending part of your early Friday evening with us during all the madness of March. We've got an important sack series here this weekend between the Trojans and the Bears. Obviously, Anderson, you see the conference record there at 1-5, has played a really tough schedule to start sack play. Got swept by Wingate and just took 1 out of 3 against Catawba, and now they come here to Hickory to take on the Bears. So 3 of the top 4 teams in the sack to start off the sack schedule for the Trojans, and the Bears at 5-1 swept Coker and took 2 out of 3 on the road at Tusculum this past weekend. Off to the best start in school history, ranked number 18 in the country. And Jason, back home where they are 17-0 this season on this field, sending Austin Edwards to the mound looking to keep things rolling.
Absolutely, good to be back. It's been a long while here, big series as you said. Looking for momentum to carry into the second half of the season.
Bears dropped 7 spots this week in the NCBWA poll from 11 to 18 after losing just 1 game to Tusculum. So tough crowd there in the poll, but LR still in the top 20. Anderson won their first 11 games of the season, but has, as I mentioned, had struggles of late in conference play, played a really tough schedule, as I said. But today the Bears pitching a little bit backwards in this series, send Austin Edwards to the mound tonight. We'll see Josh Lanham and Andrew Patrick tomorrow in the doubleheader, giving Andrew an extra day of rest. He's normally the Friday night guy, but today we see Austin Edwards, who had a bit of a rough outing at Tusculum, took the loss in the 1 game the Bears did lose. ERA just south of 5 this season, 2-1 record, but really does bring it, and when the stuff is good, it's as good as anyone, and this will be facing a good Anderson lineup that is scrappy and opportunistic. I mean, you don't win 11 games in a row by accident, even if the schedule wasn't super strong. But Kai Andrus, who is familiar with this town, transferred to Anderson from Catawba Valley Community College, takes strike 1 from Edwards, and we're underway right on time, 5 p.m. local time. And the 0-1 pitch, down and in, ball and a strike. But expecting perhaps some weather here today. Little chance of rain in the forecast around this time. It's supposed to clear up the later we get. Just a couple of raindrops as Andrus off the handle fouls it off. 1-2.
And that wind is howling, blowing out to left about 12 miles an hour.
Yeah, so especially with the Bears lineup that has just been humming along this season, leads the conference in home runs, has hit a ton of them here. 25 out of the 32 home runs this season hit in this park. 2-2.
Here's the thing, the leadoff hitter. Leadoff hitters are batting .462 off of Edwards this year. So we'll see if we can get the first out and get a 1-2-3 first.
Hasn't walked a ton of guys, but the walks haven't been very well timed. The 2-2 is softly hit to third base. Ness a couple steps to his left, sidearms it to first. And the all-important first guy of the inning retired for Austin Edwards.
Yeah, he said didn't have any walks on last Friday. Had 5 strikeouts in his 2 1/3 innings.
Defense wasn't great behind him either. That didn't help, but as Coach Ram will say, he's not going to let pitchers off the hook for bad defense. Nick Vea squared to bunt, went too far around. First strike 1, leads the team in hitting this year, at least out of guys that have played in most of the games. He's played in 17 games and at .418 for Nick, 16 RBIs.
.444 in his last 10 games. There's a 10-game hitting streak coming into the game.
Works from the left side. Edwards delivers the 1-1 pitch. Fastball in the corner. Vea thought about it, but it's a called strike anyway. 1-2. Austin in his third collegiate stop transferred to LR from Western Illinois. 1-2. Downstairs, 2-2. Traditionally a reliever for most of his college career, so transitioning to a starting role this year. And there have been some bumps in the road. There's been a lot of good for Austin, but there has been some bumps in the road as far as starting games go. In the 2-2 pitch. This one's driven to center, or actually to left. Collette back at the wall, and he leans back and grabs it, crashes into the fence. But there's that wind you mentioned, Jason. Looked like a bit of a glorified pop-up off the bat, and it carried Collette back to the wall. But the freshman, who's been just phenomenal both in the batter's box and in the field of late, makes a great play. Absolutely,
especially off a left-handed bat with that slice with the wind. He tracked it really well and found the warning track and caught the ball. So 2 outs to see if we can close the inning.
Justin Fox stands in the way of Edwards in a perfect first.
Fox coming off a three-hit game on Monday.
Squares to bunt. Strike one. Justin at .313 on the season. 18 RBIs, which is second on this Anderson team. Swings and pops up the second pitch. Straight up on the infield. Laskowski comes in. Atiles calls him off and grabs it on the infield green turf, and the side is retired. Couldn't ask for a better start if you're Austin Edwards. Trojans go down in order. Bears looking to strike first when you come back to Durham Field on the Bear Sports Network.
Welcome to Everett Chevrolet. How may I help you? Help? That's what we're here to do. Help you buy your next dream vehicle. Start your deal at everettchevy.com or swing by for a quick and hassle-free experience. And remember, if you didn't get an Everett deal, you didn't get a deal at all. Everett is a proud sponsor of the LR Bears.
Bottom of the first inning here between the bricks. Beautiful Durham Field in Hickory, NC. The rain's flying and driving side to side here. Eric Bach and Jason Stubbe, glad you're along with us. Anderson went down in order in the first against Austin Edwards, and the Bears will look to strike first against Joseph Catone, junior lefty from Bethpage, New York. Maybe he's a golfer, Bethpage. Yeah.
Lefty, I wonder if he hit
the famous course up there in Bethpage, New York. Really good numbers, actually. 3.5 ERA and 33 1/3. 3-1 record in 7 games and 6 starts. 42 strikeouts, so over a strikeout per inning. This is an Anderson pitching staff that this LR coaching staff really respects. They think that they're going to throw a lot of strikes the whole weekend and really challenge these Bear hitters, and Catone certainly is the leader of that group. Finished in the top 10 of the sack in ERA last year, under 4. Wade Kuda, who has hit 3 leadoff home runs this season, including in the Tusculum Series this past weekend, is ahead 2-0, putting together a sack player of the year resume. 435, 10 home runs, which leads the conference, 31 RBIs. He's ahead 3-0, so maybe the old announcer jinx working in favor of the Bears here. Anderson's going to throw a lot of strikes, and Catone falls behind the leadoff man 3-0. Not exactly ideal conditions to pitch in right now, but he throws his first strike of the day right down the middle to Wade. Three 3-1 is inside, ball 4. So, first man is aboard. Only the 10th walk of the season for Kuda. On-base percentage still over 500.
Bears faced Cotone last year. He went all 7 innings, only gave up 4 hits. 3 of them were by Bryce Stober, and the Bears won 2-0. Wade got the other single.
One shift in the lineup today for the Bears. Attiles moves up to second after Laskowski moves down to 6th. Then Lewis takes a strike at the bottom of the zone. He actually leads the team in hitting, .440, which is 3rd in the league. Bears have 4 out of the top 5 RBI men in the South Atlantic Conference. It's a pretty wild thing to think about. Attile is one of those guys with 26, but quickly down 0-2. It's Perino in second with 32 RBIs, Kuda with 31, and then Bell and Attiles both with 26. It really hasn't stopped. Got off to a really strong start. Attiles did it in the batter's box, and really Jason hasn't slowed down.
Absolutely not. As you said, he's reached base the last 20 games, 13 multi-hit games, so hopefully he builds his momentum as we start the second stretch of the season.
Yeah, we're already into the second half of the season, 50-game schedule. This is game 27.
Crazy.
2-2. And the home schedule really winding down here. The Bears spent the entire month of February here at home, literally the entire month of February.
Yes.
They're 17-0 this season between the bricks. Obviously, these 3 this weekend. But then after this, it's a 9-game road trip for the Bears, who just are coming home from a 4-game road trip. Ooh, and Attiles punched out at the bottom of the zone. Can't believe it. Looked below the knees away. But Cotone gets the call in the first out.
That's why these 3 games are important. As you said, 9-game road trip. Be nice to stay at the top half of the conference, big conference lead. Wingate lost their first conference game, so tied with them for second, with Newberry still having been undefeated, 6-0 in conference.
In the dirt away from Hernandez, the catcher, as Ynesta digs in. Kuda moves up into scoring position. That eliminates the double play possibility. Drew Ynesta, 366. OPS still over 1,000 in his grad transfer year from Erskine. Four homers, 23 RBIs, and 18 walks for Ynesta, who has been on base a ton in his first half of the season.
He's had a hit or a walk in every single game this year.
2-0.
But he's only 2 for 12 against lefties this year.
It's been primarily righties that the Bears have seen. Hasn't been a whole lot of southpaws that they've had to face, especially starters. Ynesta takes a strike as the rain is starting to fall a little bit harder. It's just a massive weather system that ranges all the way down from the Gulf of Mexico, and we've just got the very northern tip of it here in western North Carolina, so hopefully it passes through pretty quickly. Ynesta waves and misses. Looked fooled there by maybe a changeup from Cotone, 2-2.
Yeah, I think the temperature's dropped about 10 degrees since the start of the game, too.
So Cotone walked Kuda to lead things off, struck out Attiles. And now we'll try to do the same with Ynesta, who flares one to left. Going back is Young, and there's the wind at work. It's gone. Ynesta rockets one out. It's 2-0. You said it, Jason, 12 miles per hour straight out. I would guess it's even more than 12 miles per hour right now, but Ynesta will take it. And the Bears, as they often do, strike first.
Made good contact, and the wind helped out there. It would have been extra base hit either way.
I agree. Bears are 16-0 this season, scoring first. As Nick Clarno takes a pitch down and away. For ball 1.
That's a pretty good stat there.
You think?
Hopefully you didn't jinx that one.
Clarno line drive into the gap in left center field. He continues his hot streak, hitting streak up to 6 games for Nick. Really nice feature written about him by Wayne Cavati in the D2 Baseball newsletter about professional looks, and living up to that with that base knock there. Bears are also 9-0 this season, scoring in the first inning. So looking to improve that number to 10-0 as Perino goes fishing for strike one. Anthony, the team leader in RBIs, 32. His buddy and roommate Ionesta just matched him with his 5th home run.
Pretty nice lead off there by Nick.
Perino off the handle and foul ground. Vea drifts and now back into fair ground. The wind, that was tracking 10 feet into foul ground, and it took Vea all the way right back in front of the bag for the second out. It's well done by Nick to just fight through the wind and the rain there, probably in his eyes, to make that catch. 2 outs now for Laskowski. That's one of the best walk-up songs that you saw, the little shot of the dugout there. Cole in a bit of a dry spell right now. That's why you see him move down to 6th as he takes
he's
ball 1.
He's 0 for his last 14, but he hasn't struck out during that stretch at all. And 3 walks, so he's still seeing the ball good, just not falling.
Yep.
He's 6th in the nation in walks.
Tried to bunt there and chipped it back to the bricks behind home plate. We are just fighting through some weather up here. We're on top of the Bear dugout under a tent, and we thought maybe if we brought the tent out, that would guarantee that it wouldn't rain.
Yeah.
A little reverse psychology there, but it didn't work out in our favor.
It's definitely the wind.
Yeah, it's just the wind that's the problem. 2-1 on Cole Laskowski, transferred in from JUCO Niagara County Junior College, which is up in New York. Lines this one towards the left center field gap. Fox backs up and grabs it in deep center field, and the side is retired. Bears get a couple hits and a 2-run home run from Drew Ionesta. Jump in front of Anderson, 2-0 after 1 on the Bear Sports Network.
Hickory's Hometown Jeweler celebrates our hometown teams, college sweethearts. These couples met and fell in love in Hickory and have been together ever since. For the past 38 years, we've helped our clients celebrate a lot of milestones, and stories like these are some of our favorites. Bring your love back to where it all began. Show your college sweetheart the past as you look together to the future, and let us help you start your future here at Oz's Jewelers.
Top of the second inning, 2-0 Lenoir-Rhyne over Anderson. 2-run home run from Drew Yanesta, number 5 on the season for the transfer. It's given the Bears a 2-0 lead as Austin Edwards faces 4, 5, and 6 in this Anderson lineup. Hernandez, Young, and Owens, and Carlos Hernandez, the catcher. And cleanup hitter looks at a strike, but the wind is just nasty. We saw that blow Yanesta's ball out of here. That would have been an extra base hit without the wind, but probably used the wind to carry out of here. And saw a ball from Vea in the first inning that was probably just a pretty routine fly ball, almost go out of the park. As Hernandez takes a pitch low.
Yeah, got to definitely keep the ball down tonight. Stay ahead of hitters. Get out of the hitters' counts. And no free passes.
I just think that Edwards, as this one's lofted down the left field line, out of play outside the LR left field bullpen. 2-2 on Hernandez. Came in at 286 in 20 games.
Has hit safely in 12 of the last 13 games. Had a good series against Wingate. Hit 500 during that series.
Leads Anderson in RBIs as well, as this one's flared to center. Kuda comes on, and it bounces between 3 defenders for the Bears for a base hit. Laskowski was there, and so were Bell and Kuda, but Hernandez drops in the first hit of the day for the Trojans, who have the leadoff man aboard here in the second.
And that's some of Edwards' luck this year.
Yeah.
Good pitch, and stuck his bat out, base hit, right in front of Kuda.
So now Jackson Young, left fielder, is in the left-handed batter's box for Anderson. Takes a strike. Rain has, I think, let up a little bit. It's just the wind is just brutal up here. Edwards misses outside, a ball and a strike. It's a little sad that for the most part, I think the weather was better in the February home games than they have been in the March home games. Spring came early, and now we're like back into the spring-winter hybrid here with the wind blowing.
Tomorrow looks beautiful, though.
That's
70
right.
degrees.
Playing 2 tomorrow. Strike 2 on the corner to Jackson Young. That's Jackson, Jackson. 290 on the year for him. Anderson's been much better at home than they have been on the road. 10-3 at home. 2-4 on the road, and 2-0 in neutral site games. Swing and a miss. Edwards records his first strikeout of the day. Nice little change up there. Changed the eye level and the bat speed of Young for the first out here in the second. So now Braden Owens, third baseman for the Trojans. As I said earlier, won their first 11 games of the season. They were these two teams were kind of the big surprises in the SAC in the early going that kind of turned some heads, opened some eyes, like maybe these guys will be for real this year. Obviously the Trojans have not fared nearly as well as the Bears have in conference play, but still a 14-7 record nearing the halfway point of the season is nothing to scoff at if you're an Anderson fan. The 0-1. Breaking ball floats right down the middle of the plate, 0-2.
With the unbalanced SAC conference schedule, they got bad draws so far with Wingate and Catawba, and then, of course, us this weekend. And it doesn't get easier. Moss Hill's been playing well, and then they go to Newberry.
Yeah, and the Bears miss both the Bulldogs and the Wolves.
And Queens is sitting right below us at 7-2.
Queens has been also one of the big surprises. Owens stays alive, throws the bat at it to foul it off. Bears do play Queens in a midweek game, but not in a series. And as I said, miss Newberry and Wingate. That's just the luck of the draw. I would think that LR would prefer to play those teams in the regular season.
Yes. Both of you, strength of schedule, see the teams before the conference tournament.
This could be two. Attiles. Laskowski wasn't a great feed, but it doesn't matter. Cole makes the play in a 6-4-3 inning-ending, there we go, double play to retire the side. So Edwards gives up a leadoff single, but still faces the minimum. We're through an inning and a half. Bears trying to add to this 2-run lead in the Bears Sports Network.
Cordell Harris Insurance Agency, a family-owned and operated business serving the Hickory area since 1981, where we strive to take care of you and your den like family. As an independent insurance agency, we offer a vast spectrum of coverage for your commercial and personal insurance needs with our extensive network of providers. Cordell Harris Insurance Agency is a proud sponsor of Lenoir-Rhyne Athletics. Protect your den with Cordell Harris. Go Bears!
All right, folks, apologies for no audio this inning. The wind was just too much. We had to bring the operation indoors. So here we are now inside the press box. The Bears have runners on the corners, back-to-back hits. A little perfectly executed hit and run there by Wade Kuda. Matt Mackey walked to start the inning, and then Collette hit into a double play. David Bell singled and now is 90 feet away as Attiles digs in, takes ball one downstairs. Jason, that was a pretty frantic little operation there that we just put on. We thought we could do it between innings, and then we realized that we can't unplug everything because we still had to have the stream. So it was quite the operation that all of us just put on. About 5 of us there.
Yeah, absolutely, that's something never thought I would ever do in my life.
Yeah. Move streaming equipment while streaming. That
on air, yeah.
Yeah, so here we are. But that is it's the nature of the beast here when we have the setup that we do. New setup coming soon, though, hopefully. Tille's trying to extend this Bear lead, fouls back the 2-0 pitch. And it's 2 balls and a strike on Lewis. Struck out looking in the first against Catone, who's trying to put up a 0 here in the second. This is a ground ball to shortstop. Andrus gets it and flips it, and the side is retired. So the Bears get a couple of hits, but leave runners on the corners in the bottom of the second. We head to the third. LR2, Anderson nothing on the Bear Sports Network.
Play hard if you use your feet to chase fitness goals. If you stand all day at work. Introducing True Energy Infrared Technology Socks. These may be the best socks you ever wear. Our yarn is infused with infrared nanoparticles. Your body's natural heat ignites these tiny particles, producing infrared energy that improves circulation and stimulates cellular recovery. It's not magic, it's rocket science. The perfect sock for your active life, for fitness, performance, recovery. Proven innovation to ignite your true energy.
Top of the third inning. Austin Edwards working with a 2-run lead. Has faced the minimum through 2. Did give up a single to Hernandez to lead off the second, but got Owens to ground into a 6-4-3 double play as we've moved the operation indoors here at Durham Field. Ness to the 2-run home run. That is the difference right now. Number 5 on the season for Drew. And Jason Edwards has looked good through 2. All the indicators of a strong start for a pitcher have been there. Throwing strikes down in the zone, getting ground balls. Stuff is good, so if you're Derek Beasley and Chris Ramirez, you got to be really happy with what you've seen from Edwards so far as he's ahead 0-2 here to J.C. LeGrand.
Absolutely. 19 strikes out his first 26 pitches. No walks, 1 strikeout. Got the big ground double play to end last inning. As you said, throw strikes early, keep the ball low, let the defense work.
Swing and a miss. Both of the strikeouts have come on that pitch to the lefties down and away, and LeGrand is set down on 3 pitches. So now that brings up Jackson Van Ness, the right fielder for the Trojans. And he swings at the first pitch and pops it up right side. Laskowski drifts onto the outfield grass at second base and snags it. 4 pitches, 2 outs for Edwards here in the top of the third. This is just the most comfortable he's looked to me in a start so far for the Bears, which is odd given the weather and the circumstances of the day. So good for Austin Edwards for being able to battle through it perhaps better than we have up here. First pitch to James Hanvey, the DH. A little bit rare to see a DH in the 9-hole, but that is what Anderson has here. And Hanvey up the middle. Diving stop, Attiles, what a play on the wrong side of second base. Lewis, silky smooth, ends the inning. A single-digit pitch inning for Austin Edwards. He's through 3 scoreless. Bears looking to build on this 2-0 lead when you come back to Durham Field on the Bears Sports Network, presented by NBA Roofing.
Hey Bears fans, Dave here with Everett Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac, your local hometown dealer since 1967. Come see us in Hickory or Morganton to check out all of GM's hottest new products, the area's largest selection of pre-owned vehicles, and service you can depend on. Visit us online at everettchevy.com. Good luck to the Bears this season, and remember, if you didn't get an Everett deal, you didn't get a deal at all. Go Bears!
Ness to Clarno Perino. Bottom of the third. Bears up 2-0, looking to build on this lead here on the Bears Sports Network. Presented by NBA Roofing.
Check swing, did not go, ball 1.
Drew a 2-run home run in the bottom of the first inning.
Extends his hitting streak to 6 games.
Knocks this one back through for another base hit. So Ynesta 2 for 2 continues his fantastic season.
So he has 15 multi-hit games in what? This is game 27?
Yeah, not bad, right?
No.
Already extended his hitting streak to 6 games, which matches the longest he's had this season.
Do you bunt hit, Eric?
No, absolutely not. Not the way Clarno's been swinging it. But, of course, now that I say that, it's basically a guarantee that Clarno will be laying down a bunt here. He's very willing to do so, even in the cleanup role, and there he goes. But pulled it back in time for ball 1, says the umpire.
Bears come in, what, 3rd in the nation in sac fly bunts?
Something they've really emphasized this year. They were so home run reliant last year, 63 in 41 games, and lead the conference in that category again, but they can do it in a lot of different ways. They can small ball it, they can long ball it, as they have tonight, and Clarno does again towards the left center field gap. Fox at the wall, and he grabs it on the deepest part of the warning track in left center field for the first out. So almost got it out of here, but not quite enough for Clarno. Nice play there from Fox running into the gap.
What do you think about Ynesta not tagging up on that? You think with the wind it'll be gone?
At least maybe with the wind, it's against the fence and in the gap.
Yeah. Maybe he was worried about getting past again.
Wait, we saw that. I can't remember who it was. Well, obviously, it was Attiles. We saw that on a home run, but there was another base running situation where somebody almost got past at third base.
Really?
I think it was Mackey was involved with that as Perino chops the first one foul down the third base line. Tony popped up to Vea at first base in his first at-bat back in the first. 6-game hitting streak for him. Backs up in the box, normally a little bit closer to the mound, taken after Ynesta, who is as deep back in the box as you can be. Takes ball 1.
389 during his 6-game hitting streak.
9 multi-hit games and 8 multi-RBI games for Anthony, who leads the team in that category, 2-1. So we're playing a doubleheader tomorrow.
Assuming Patrick is available, which game do you think start 1 or 2 tomorrow?
They haven't decided what he's doing yet. I think he's going to start game 2 as Ynesta takes off at first base, hit and run on there again for the Bears. They executed one perfectly with Kuda and Bell in the second, but Perino didn't get a great pitch to hit there, and just all he could do was foul it off.
In the game last year, Cuttoon and Patrick, that was a matchup in a 7-inning game, and both went 7 innings, and it was a 2-0 win for the Bears. Patrick threw a complete game shutout.
1 of 2 that year. Ynesta takes off again. Perino flares it to left, and that's down for a base hit in front of Young as the ball nearly bounces over his head, and Ynesta takes third. Perino to second. Safe. They missed the tag at second base. The throw beat him, but LeGrand at second couldn't put the tag on him, and a savvy slide there for Perino saves it out for the Bears.
So it was an irregular bounce off the turf. Now a misplay by the left fielder, so it'll go down as a double for Drew.
So
Oh, excuse me.
kind of a hit and run
Yeah, for Pinero.
again. Not your traditional hit and run to the pole field for Perino, but with 2 strikes, you hit it wherever you can. Coach Ram talks about big boy at-bats in the box, and that's one right there for Perino, knocking one into the left field with 2 strikes. Safety squeeze on here for Laskowski. The ball is misplayed, and everybody's safe. Ynesta in to score. Catone couldn't come up with it clean, and Cole Laskowski another RBI. Bears playing small ball here, hitting and running, stealing bases, bunting. And Laskowski breaks an 0 for 15 stretch with that bunt RBI single there. And that might be the end for Catone. Maybe not. I don't think they have anyone up and ready in the bullpen yet. But perfectly executed. Looked like a safety squeeze there, right, Jason?
It definitely was safety. Drew didn't break on the pitch. Cole's job was just get the bunt down, which he did a great job, and push it right to the pitcher and beat him to the bag. Even if he cleans the field, clearly Cole had the first base, so that snaps his 0 for 15 streak.
P.J. Zoki is the head coach for Anderson. He made his way out to talk to Catone. He's already given up now 7 hits in the game. Another maybe a safety squeeze there for Matt Mackey, who the ball hit him while he was in the box, so it was just a foul ball.
Let's see if Cole's running here. Lefty, though.
Stays put. Another bunt down from Mackey, making Catone field his position. He gets it and flips it, but perfectly done by Mackey as the Bears not doing too much here, just taking what Anderson's given them, and they've got 2 RBIs in a row on bunts. So Mackey gets his 9th RBI of the season. That was Laskowski's 16th RBI.
And that will go down as a sacrifice for Mackey.
Yep. So now Collette. Saw him hit into a double play last inning, which is rare given his speed, but he hit the ball a little bit too hard to beat it out. Coming off his first career 4-hit game. His head coach is saying he's really turned a corner, did some high-level stuff in the batter's box on Tuesday in the 8-4 win over Barton. A couple of base knocks with 2 strikes. Took some pitches the other way and stuff that, he's a football player as well, so hasn't gotten as integrated, or didn't at least get as integrated with the team in the fall, given his football commitments. But now, given the opportunities that he has been given, he's earned those opportunities with his play, both offensively and defensively. He's just really settling in and becoming the player that they know he is.
He's a pitcher, too, doesn't he?
Yeah, they say he could be their best pitcher and their best hitter if, he is able to spend enough time on both. Low to mid-90s on the mound. Has pitched once this year.
Yeah.
Back in the early part of the season. 2-2 pitch. Fouled off. Stays alive. Coach Ram and I jokingly referred to Collette at the beginning as the Collette experiment. Like, you throw an athlete like that out there, you never know what's going to happen. He gets punched out here, and the Collette experiment has paid off in a big way. 2 more runs for the Bears in the bottom of the third. 2 bunt RBIs, 1 for Laskowski, 1 for Mackey. 4-0 LR after 3 on the Bear Sports Network. Top of the Anderson order coming up in the top of the 4th. Edwards has faced the minimum through 3, giving up 1 base hit to Hernandez to lead off the second, but was erased on a double play. So now Kai Andrus, the transfer to Anderson from Catawba Valley Community College, right here in Hickory, a school that has yielded a lot of really good players for the Bears, including Andrew Patrick, their ace. Takes strike 1. Kai grounded out to Unesta at third to lead off the game. Edwards in rhythm right now, misses down low. Ball on a strike.
Hey, second time through the lineup. Let's see if the Trojans make any adjustments.
Andrus to center. Kuda backs up. Has to take a little hop at it to grab it in deep left center field for the first out. But Edwards, 2 strikeouts the first time through. Pitched to a lot of contact. Not a ton of hard contact the first time through for Anderson. And the defense has been up to the task so far. So now Vea, who has probably the best contact of the day for Anderson. Collette made a fantastic play in left field, jumping up into the wall to grab Vea's hit the first time. 1-1 as he flares it foul. Redshirt senior from Queens, New York, right there in the Big Apple.
He's been swinging a hot bat since he missed a couple games in the middle part of the early season. Been 444 the last 10 games.
Swing and a miss. Edwards has been tough on the lefties today. Both of his strikeouts against lefties, and he's ahead of this lefty 1-2.
You see the changeup right here? We got.
That's what he's struck out his first 2 men on, was the changeup. Throws the fastball here, fouled off again.
Yeah, I think you're going to see the changeup here. He struck out Young with the second inning.
The fastball is knocked right back up the middle for a base hit. Maybe should have thrown the changeup. Should have taken your advice there, but Vea continues his super hot hitting streak. Probably should be 2 for 2 today if not for the Collette play in the first inning, but has the second hit of the day for Anderson here with 1 gone in the top of the 4th. Brings up Justin Fox. He and Vea, both Erskine transfers like Ynesta, so these are Ynesta's old teammates, and hit a home run today, Drew did, against a lot of his former teammates. Fox bunts, it spins into fair territory. Clarno grabs it with the bare hand and whips it to first. I thought that he might just let it go foul, but grabbed it with the bare right hand just inside of the first base foul line and made a nice play, and 2 outs. Clarno, we mentioned earlier the write-up on him that got some national exposure, and Coach Matt Risden got a shout-out from his boss, Coach Ram, that he has really turned Clarno into a A-plus defensive catcher. Clarno came here more of an infielder and now has transitioned in to one of the best, if not the best, defensive catcher in this conference and maybe Division II, is Hernandez, who had a base hit in his first at-bat, takes ball 1 down and away.
Yeah, you said he played, third base for the Bananas last summer?
Yeah, he did. And they, partially because Savannah had such a 4-year established catcher in Bill Leroy. But yeah, Clarno was the starting third baseman in the championship series of the Coastal Plain League this past summer. 2-0 on Hernandez. And Ynesta was the starting second baseman in that championship series.
Flexibility, always good.
And Ynesta can play outfield as well.
Yeah, we've seen that a little bit this year and left.
Yep, when Mackey plays first and Perino, who is now the everyday first baseman, as Edwards has fallen behind Hernandez 3-0. Missed with a breaking ball down and away there. But Perino, with Atile's miss in the opening series, Mackey played first, Perino played second. We've seen Perino play third a little bit when Ynesta moved to the outfield. But versatility all the way around. There's a strike at the bottom of the zone. 3 balls and a strike. Carlos Hernandez, Venezuelan.
He's been hitting the ball really well lately.
Transferred to Anderson from South Georgia State College. So a lot of transfers in this Anderson lineup, a lot like the Bears.
Well, only 3 players in today's lineup was in the lineups in the 4-game series last year.
And Anderson didn't have a great season last year, and obviously 14-7 this season, so big improvement, and perhaps that is maybe the biggest reason why. But the first walk of the day issued by Edwards to Hernandez, who's now been aboard in both of his plate appearances, brings up Jackson Young with 2 outs and 2 on.
Young 6 for his last 12.
Struck out against Edwards in his first at-bat and takes a strike on the outer half here from Austin.
Lefties came in the day hitting 231 off of Edwards. Righties 247.
Edwards bounces a breaking ball that Clarno scoops out of there.
So back in high school, do you hit right-handed or left-handed, Eric?
I was a righty.
Do you prefer hitting against lefty pitching or righty pitching?
I always hit lefties well. Well is a relative term, but
270 career average.
But yeah, 270 career batting average. I didn't hit a whole lot of people that well. As Edwards is down in the dirt 2-1, and that'll draw Derek Beasley out of the dugout. But I think that I would have been maybe even in the low 200s if not for the lefties. I don't have the number, but I would guess that I was over 300 against the lefties in my career.
Why? What do you think? What different approach did you take at the plate?
I always hit outside pitches better. That was the key to getting me out was to pitch me inside. And I feel like lefties just naturally to righties tend to pitch on the outer half of the plate a little bit more.
Yeah, with the two-seamer going,
tailing
away. If you stay on it, drive it to right center.
So that was kind of played into my strength on the outer half. I'm sure you were a player back in your day.
Back in the day, yes. Left-handed, though.
Lefty, right.
Lefty pitcher, lefty hitter.
Little cheddar cheese from the left side on the mound.
Nope. Off speed.
2-1. Speaking of off speed, Edwards swoops a curveball past the bat of Young and is 1 strike away from getting out of this little mini jam that he's in here. First time that Anderson's had more than 1 base runner on the pass. Dugout makes some noise. The 2-2 flared to center. This is trouble, and it's down for a base hit. Kuda comes on. This will score at least 1 run as everyone moves up, and an RBI single for Jackson Young knocks in Vea. And the first run of the day for the Trojans. Nice piece of 2-out hitting there for Young, who continues his hot streak and puts Anderson on the board this weekend.
I don't like to throw to third there. I wish he would have got the ball in and kept the runner at first and keep another runner off the scoring position here with 2 outs.
You think so? You wish it would have gone to second then?
Yes, he should have. Yeah, instead of trying to throw Hernandez out at third, he should have just kept it in and kept Young at first.
So now, base knock from Braden Owens, who hit into the double play to end the second inning, could potentially make this a 1-run game. Edwards spikes a breaking ball, but Clarno bodies it up. Ball and a strike.
Owens has 5 RBIs in his last 3 games, so there's a chance to get a couple more.
Trojans looking for a big opening statement win here in this series. They've struggled so far in conference play, just 1-5. Edwards down the line, and that's inside the bag for a base hit. This will score at least 2, or this will score both runners as Owens is in with a 2-out, 2-run double, perfectly placed just inside the bag. And it's a 1-run game. So, a couple of 2-out knocks for the Trojans. That was the scouting report on them. They're a scrappy offense, not going to hit a ton of home runs, not going to hit for a ton of power, but they're going to fight, and they have some really strong bats. They're going to make you earn everything, and they've been the embodiment of that here in this top of the 4th inning. So they answer 2 runs for the Bears in the third with 3 of their own here in the top of the fourth as LeGrand takes ball 1 down.
So going back to the Cuda throw in the third, Young would
Yeah.
have been at first. Pinell will be holding him. He probably makes that play. But he was off the line with Young at second.
Yep.
So it could be a 4-2 game, but little things like that.
That's baseball. Gotta always be thinking 2-3 plays ahead, right?
Yes, indeed.
But yeah, Perino, where he was positioned, didn't have a chance at that ball.
But if he was holding the run around, he probably makes that play on his glove side.
Yeah, at least had a better chance to. LeGrand is the other strikeout victim to Edwards and swings and misses on 2-0. Edwards grooved a fastball in there past him. 2 balls and a strike. Tying run at second base. As Edwards tries to preserve this lead. Swing and a miss. LeGrand behind it. 2-2.
I think it's going to be a high fastball here.
Struck him out with the changeup the first time. I'm going to go changeup away.
Okay.
2-2. Changeup away, but LeGrand holds back, full count.
Yeah, 2-2. Got him last time. I think I would have came with the fastball here. But there.
RBI is number 15 and 16 on the season for Owens, by the way. Edwards trying to preserve the lead. Full count pitch on its way. Swing and a miss. Went to the changeup again. LeGrand was ahead of it, and the side is retired. But Anderson puts a big dent into the lead. They score 3 runs in the fourth, and it's 1-run ball game as we head to the bottom of the fourth on the Bear Sports Network.
Hometown Ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
Bears trying to answer Anderson's 3 runs that they put up in the top of the fourth, sending 9-1-2 to the plate. Bell, Cuda, Atiles. As Catone now, after his team fell behind 4-0, offense came to life last half inning as Bell pops the first pitch up. Foul ground. Third baseman Owens watches it land just foul on top of the dugout. That if we were back out there in our old spot, we would have been dodging bullets. Yeah, Jason.
I would have made it.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. So David singled up the middle in his first at bat. Takes ball 1-1.
So 7-game hitting streak for Bell.
Yeah, he's been great and gets more RBI opportunities than most people in this lineup because he's consistently in the bottom of the lineup, and that's by design. The numbers are good. 329 this season. As you mentioned, the hitting streak. He's in the top 5 in the conference in RBIs.
Loves the hit with the bases loaded.
Yeah, right?
4 for 5 this year with the bases loaded.
Yep, including a grand slam.
Yep.
But he's such an asset at the bottom of the lineup for Chris Ramirez because he's so good in RBI situations and gets punched out there on the inner half.
I thought it was a little inside.
Seen a couple questionable punch-outs today from the home plate umpire, but that's why he's back there, I guess, right?
Yeah. You like the three-man crew on the weekends?
I do. You got to have three, especially, given I think it's most important with the check swings.
Yes.
When, the righty is in the box and the first base umpire can stay on his place, stay at his spot down the right field line when the third base umpire is in the middle of the field. As Kuda takes a strike, Wade's been on both plate appearances, walking a single. Scored a run on the Ynesta home run that was in the first. 1-1 as Catone has really picked up the pace here on the mound. Got a little extra step as Kuda chops this one just outside the third base bag foul, but you can see a little bit more energy from Catone now. Went into the dugout trailing 4-0 and comes back to the mound in just a one-run game. That's got to feel pretty good for him.
Yes, indeed. He definitely wants to put up a 0 after this inning. Coming off his quality start against Catawba.
Kuda one hopper to second base. LeGrand a nice play on the green outfield turf. Played the short hop perfectly. 2 up and 2 down here in the bottom of the fourth. Eric Bach, Jason Stubbe, glad you're with us on this early Friday evening. A little March Madness. Jason, your Boilermakers moving on to the round of 32.
Yes, indeed. And Kentucky's going home.
Which is always a good thing.
Yes, indeed.
2 outs for Tilles. No disrespect to Big Blue Nation, but it is fun to watch them lose in the tournament, especially to a 15 seed.
I wish I would have stayed up and watched it, but I fell asleep at almost, with a minute left, I fell asleep.
I was locked into hoops all day yesterday. My Spartans tipping off tonight against Davidson, of course. Got the teeth chattering about that one.
Don't think Steph Curry's coming back tonight.
Yeah, right. Steph Curry in the form of Foster Lawyer as Tilles checks the swing and does not go around 1-1. Lewis 0 for 2, strikeout and fielder's choice in this one, trying to keep his hitting streak alive. I mean, a really great play at shortstop. Got jammed and flares it to right field. Van Ness comes on, calls off LeGrand, makes the catch, and for the first time tonight, Catone has set the Bears down in order. So Anderson gets 3 in the top of the fourth, sets the Bears down in order in the bottom of the fourth. We head to the fifth. Got a good one brewing here on the Bears Sports Network. 1-run game.
Everything the light touches will be yours. You must remember who you are. The one true champion. We are LR.
We are.
We are.
We are.
We are.
We are LR. We are LR.
First Carolina West call to the bullpen of the night brings the tallest man in the Bear bullpen to the mound, Jackson Reed, who has just been phenomenal this season. This is already his 13th appearance, 14 1/3 innings, 1.88 ERA. So the leash pretty short for Austin Edwards today, but when And the Bear bullpen has been going the way that it has. 2.71 ERA as a collective unit, which among teams that have played 20 or more games this season is number 1 in the country. This Bear bullpen, easy to hand the game over to them with a 1-run lead in the 5th inning, as Reed's been a horse, Spencer Floyd's been a horse, Cannon Butler got his first win of the season on Tuesday. There's a myriad of names that you can go to in this bullpen for the Bears, and Reed's definitely at the top of that list, and he gets the call here in the 5th.
It was that 13th appearance already in 27 games, so almost once every 2 games he's out there. The opponents are hitting 182 against him with runners in scoring position.
And 196 overall.
Oh, yep.
So 8-9-1 coming up in the 5th here for Anderson, who got all 3 of their runs in the 4th. Pair of 2-out base knocks for the Trojans. 1 single, 1 double. Drove in all 3 of those runs. Strike 1 to Jackson Van Ness, who popped out in his first at-bat back in the 3rd inning.
So Edwards be no decision today, going 4 innings.
Reed did give up a earned run on Tuesday. Gave up a couple of hits in the 8th inning to Barton, but the lead was big enough for the Bears that there was really nobody sweating in that dugout. That was the first earned run Reed's given up since February 16th. So, pretty good stretch there for Jackson. Strike 2. Redshirt sophomore from Mooresville, listed at 6'7", but he looks taller than that on the mound. It's rare that rosters undersell how tall somebody is. Usually you're overshooting it, but I think they might have undersold Jackson there. Fastball just a touch below the knees there to Van Ness. The count is full. 20 strikeouts to only 4 walks, too. That's been the calling card for this LR bullpen there. 161 strikeouts to 50 walks this season. And now 162. That pitch was lower than the pitch before, but Reed gets the call and the strikeout here to start the 5th. LR bullpen's 10-0, now 103 in a 3rd innings. Giving up just 31 earned runs in that time period, which is the difference between this year and last year.
Yes,
the Bears
definitely.
Offensively this year maybe a little bit better than last year, but overall not like super different.
Mm-hmm.
And they lost a lot of coin flip games last year because the bullpen couldn't hold some leads, and that has not been the case this year. And in the 2 losses, the Bears have fallen behind fairly early in the game and just haven't been able to fight back. But 24-2 doesn't happen without a really good bullpen, and the Bears certainly have that.
As you said, turn a weakness into a strength.
And that's all the credit in the world to Derek Beasley and Adam Skinecki. Bees developing those arms in the bullpen, and Skinecki recruiting both high school players and college players in the transfer portal to bring them in here. It's been a good combo of both.
Yep, young and experience, mixed them together.
You see Floyd, who's a true freshman. Braden Houston, who's a transfer, has given up 1 earned run the entire season out of the bullpen, but Jackson Reed's a guy that's been here, that's developed. There's a base hit for James Hanvey, the DH and 9 hitter, as he ropes the ball down the right field line for the 5th hit of the game for the Trojans, but that's the scouting report. Anderson's scrappy offensively, going to make you work for everything, and that's certainly been the case in this series opener.
Hey, top order now.
Kai Andrus, who's 0 for 2.
Yeah, he started off hot. Now he's 3 for his last 22.
Was a big part of that 11-game winning streak for Anderson to start the season. They won their first 11 and are just 3-7 in their last 10. As Andrus takes a strike on the low outside part of the zone.
He lost an 11-inning game against Catawba after coming back and scoring 5 in the last 2 innings to beat them in the first game, and then lost heartbreaker in the second one, and then game 3 on the following day.
Runner goes, pitches high. Good one to throw on for Clarno. And he got him. He's been cutting down runners almost half the time this season and gets another victim there. So the one-out single erased and quickly 2 outs.
Surprised to see him going. Jackson Reed a little slow to the play, but Clarno's strong arm. Anderson only came in with 26 stolen bases this year, which is good for about 6th in the conference. You know who leads the conference in stolen bases?
Newberry.
111.
Yeah.
That is insane.
And they've only hit 6 home runs the whole year. So it's just Newberry. LR leads the league in most offensive categories, but Newberry's got the most runs scored, and that stolen base number's got to be a big reason why. 0-2 is flared down the right field line, and look out over there in the stands down the right field line, just off the base of the light post, and
I could have got him twice.
Narrowly missed a couple down there.
Braving the weather.
The weather seems to have calmed down a bit since
wind.
we've moved inside. That's all it took, was us to move inside for the weather to ease up on us. Another foul ball off the end of the bat for Andrus.
Done 3 games with you, 1 outside of the tent behind home plate, a nice day, and then the windiest day of them all.
Yeah, I think we know what the common denominator is there for the bad weather.
Yep. Yes, indeed.
Jackson Reed looking to put a nice bow on a scoreless 5th. Still ahead 0-2. Big righty delivers. Ground ball. Ready to Tilles at shortstop. Off the carpet. And the side is retired. So Reed faces the minimum in the 5th. Continues his outstanding season. Bears looking to stretch this 1-run lead when you come back to Durham Field on the Bear Sports Network.
Break great with Carolina West Wireless. Great new phones and a great customer experience, all on our great nationwide high-speed network. Stop by today and get big savings on select Samsung smartphones, like $350 off the Samsung Galaxy S20 and S20 Plus, and $350 off the Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra. The great savings continue with 4 lines of unlimited data for just $35 a month per line. Celebrate great savings and go stay connected wherever your travels take you.
Bottom of the 5th, Drew Unesta, Nick Clarno, Anthony Perino due up against Joseph Catone. Still pitching with a deficit, just a 1-run deficit, but has been really good outside of the home run that Unesta hit in the first inning that was helped out by the wind and a couple of nickel dimers on bunts that the Bears got. Unesta chops this one right side. Vea grabs it, scampers over to the base, and beats Unesta by a couple of steps for the first out here in the bottom of the 5th. But that was pitch number 78 right there for Catone, so got to think that maybe this 5th inning is his last, but if he can get through it quick, maybe a 6th inning is in the cards for him tonight.
I think they're going to let him go a little bit.
Nobody really throwing in the Anderson bullpen. Got people down there kind of getting loose, but nobody with a lot of sense of urgency in throwing. As Clarno swings the first pitch down at his knees. And
a couple of bunts, and, not too much hard contact. Mixing it up well. They really don't want to get in that bullpen.
Bears have just annihilated opposing bullpens this season, so trying to ride them as long as they possibly can, Anderson is, I assume. 0-1 to Clarno, left side, maybe off of his foot, but it's a foul ball as Owens, the third baseman, grabbed it just a touch in foul ground. Home plate umpire right on that one.
He went 6 innings against Wingate. Oh, excuse me, 6 innings against Catawba last Friday.
Really had to battle in that start. I mean, Catawba's maybe not the normal Catawba that SAC fans know, but they're still tough.
Yes, absolutely. They've played one of the toughest schedules in the country so far.
Maybe the toughest.
Tusculum's actually number 2 at strength of schedule coming into today.
And they've played everyone good in the SAC, including the Bears. 1-2 on Clarno.
Here's a fun fact. SAC teams have won the most non-conference games than any other conference in D2.
I'm not surprised.
Yep.
2-2 as Clarno takes a pitch down and away.
120-91 non-conference record as a conference as a whole.
And these aren't cupcakes that the SAC is playing. Clarno leans out of the way and has fought it back to a full count. Nick's 1 for 2 today and hit a ball hard in his second at-bat and lined out to Fox in center and deep center field on the warning track. Full count pitch. Up the middle. I mentioned a big boy at bat earlier. There's one right there. Takes a 2-strike curveball back up the middle for a 1-out single here in the bottom of the 5th. So he continues his awesome season, raises that .349 batting average. Now Perino is 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored. Was helped out by a bit of a misplay by Young in left field. Just a product of not being used to playing on the turf. And Perino scalded that ball. Nearly bounced over Young's head off the turf.
So what's your strategy if you're running against lefty? First movement or?
That was what I was always taught because my old high school baseball head coach, Randy Spangler, shout out Randy, would always say that at that point, if you go on first movement, you're not stealing on the catcher, you're stealing on the first baseman. And he didn't have a lot of faith that high school first baseman could make a good transfer and have a good throw to second base if you got a good enough lead and a good enough jump.
Yeah, that's how I teach my middle schoolers, and it happened in the game last week, actually. But
Mr. Stubbe, official scorer, commentator, coach, he does it all. Ball 3 down to Perino.
3-0 green light.
I think he's earned that, don't you?
Send Nick in motion, too.
That's aggressive on 3-0.
You got to lead. Play aggressive.
Not the green light, but it's strike 1.
Seems like Tone's getting the inside pitch today.
Yeah, and he's worked in there, especially against the righties. Yeah. Most of his outs to the righties have been that inside fastball.
Yeah, as a lefty, if you can hit that pitch, you set everything else up.
Yeah. 3-1 is away for ball 4. That's been a bit of an issue. That's the 3rd walk now, and puts 2 on for Laskowski. Coach Ram says, make him pitch you up. To Cole, who just broke an 0 for 15 funk with a RBI bunt single in his last at-bat in the 3rd.
I don't think I've ever seen an 0 for 15 without no strikeouts.
Yeah, that's
impressive.
Pretty rare.
Yeah.
That's just the name of the game. As this one squirts away from Hernandez, Clarno takes a look around 3rd, but will stay put. And now that changes things here in this inning for Catone.
I'm really surprised no one's warming up in the bullpen right now.
Looks like they're starting to get looser now.
That phone. Do they have a phone down there? How do they know?
I don't think
they
they have
someone
a phone.
Down?
I don't know. That's a good question. The walkie-talkies are allowed now.
Walkie-talkies. Good old Nextels.
New technology rules in college baseball this year allow that. LR's the only team I've seen in person that does the communication for the pitches electronically.
Well, someone answered the phone. Someone's getting up.
Laskowski ahead 2-0.
I like it. I like that. I do.
And now they're sending somebody out of the dugout as the carrier pigeon there to deliver the message.
He's not running too fast.
Laskowski, a player that I worked with this summer with the Morehead City Marlins, Joe Barbario, who's a good friend now, just a great personality and a great guy. Pitched for Morehead City this summer, now pitches at Mount Olive, actually.
Okay.
Transferred there from Canisius, D1 up in New York, but is friends with Cole Laskowski. And Joe Barbario's dad, John, runs a baseball training facility up in New York, and Cole Laskowski trained with the Barbarios. And after Cole hit that game-tying home run in the Coker Series a couple weekends ago, Joe reached out to me and was like, Cole's a dog. And he goes, we only train dogs at Barbario Training, and it's true. And Laskowski certainly has been a welcome sight, both offensively and defensively, where he's been just phenomenal at second base for the Bears.
Yes.
3-1 is chop foul. He's been by far the most consistent defender ever since he moved from short to second after that opening series.
I mean, he's an important bat. He's only left-hander in the starting lineup, which is uncommon nowadays. You usually see 2-3 lefties in the lineup now.
Full count pitch. This is a big pitch in this game for Catone. Trying to get out of a jam and hits Laskowski.
Why was Villa playing in with 2 strikes?
Yeah.
He's not.
So Laskowski aboard for the second time. Brings up Matt Mackey.
That's got to be close to the end of the day.
I don't know if the pitcher's ready down there in the bullpen is the problem, but I
don't think it matters.
Here comes Anderson, head coach. Probably going to take his sweet time to walk out to the pen, but the umpire asked him, are you making a change? And he said no. So riding with Catone right now.
Interesting strategy. 97 pitches. Bases loaded. He's taking his time waiting for the umpire to break it up. Here he comes.
And
he's leaving him in.
Staying with Catone. It's a
mound.
calculated risk. I mean, the Bears, it could pay off now that, you've got the force everywhere. Not a super fast guy at the plate in Mackey.
So they're hoping for a ground ball. Mackey's first at bat with the bases loaded this year.
I don't hate leaving Catone in the game here.
It shows you how much trust he has in his bullpen, maybe, for 3-game series.
True.
Bears are hitting .395 with the bases loaded this year.
That'll win you a lot of games. First pitch, curveball, bends in for strike one to Matt Mackey, who has yet to record an at-bat today. Walked in a sac bunt and an RBI. Drove in the 4th run, which right now would be the game-winning RBI if it stands 1-1.
That was my concern. He's just been all over the place this inning. Middle infield is back with double play. Owens is back at third.
1-1 to Mackey. Downstairs, a good eye. That's an easy pitch to go after with that curveball coming at you through the front door. Or through the back door, I should say.
So 2-1.
2-1 the count, yep. And the 2-1. Fastball off the plate. Maybe you were being proven right here, Jason. 3-1. Clarno at third, Perino at second, Laskowski at first. Decent speed on the base pass all the way around.
Nice to find a gap right here. We'll take ball full.
So Mackey picks up his second RBI of the day.
Without a hit.
Without even an at-bat.
Yes.
2 walks and sacrifice bunt, and now the end for Catone. So P.J. Zaki tried to stay with him as long as he could, but he walks in the 5th run of the day for the Bears, and a big jam for the reliever who's coming in for Anderson. Braden Collette coming up, bases loaded, 1 out, 2-run lead for the Bears. Carolina West called the bullpen for Anderson. We'll tell you about the new pitcher when we come back to Durham Field.
Paramount Kia in Hickory. We want to see you driving a new Kia or, hey, a quality pre-owned Kia. We've got a huge selection of new and pre-owned Kias. You got to get to Paramount Kia in Hickory, Highway 70, ParamountKia.com.
Moret Stadium is an iconic part of LR Athletics, hosting games, tailgating, marching band competitions, sports camps, and graduation ceremonies. The stadium serves as a valued focal point for the greater Hickory area. The time has come to renovate the stadium to allow LR to continue to offer our student athletes, fans, and the community an exceptional experience.
First Carolina West called to the bullpen for the Trojans of Anderson brings Landon Henley onto the hill, the junior from Waynesville, North Carolina. Been really good this year, 7 appearances. Record is 1-0, 10 1/3, and the ERA is 0.87, 13 strikeouts and 10 1/3. And he's been really good of late. Pitched 2 scoreless in the Catawba series. That was the one game that Anderson won in that series in their lone conference win of the year. 2 1/3 in the 7-6 loss to Emmanuel on Tuesday. That's a common opponent between these two squads. Bears took 3 out of 4 from the Lions to open the season, and Anderson dropped a 1-run game to them on Tuesday. Braden Collette with the bases loaded. Ball 1, a little bit inside.
And the one thing, he's 8 walks and 10 1/3 innings this year. So maybe that's why he didn't come in with the bases loaded. Well, other than that, fantastic year so far.
Collette thought about going after that second pitch, but wisely held back. It's in the dirt, 2-0. Perino at third, walked. Laskowski got hit by a pitch. Mackey at first also walked. Collette calls time as Henley changed up his timing there on the mound.
Hitter's count here, something he can drive.
And he does drive it to center field. Fox going back. This will be plenty deep enough to score the run as he grabs it on the track. Everyone looking to move up. Mackey to second. And they got him.
The run doesn't score.
And I don't believe the run got home in time. And they say no, it did not. So a double play there for Anderson. And Henley gets out of this big jam with minimal damage. Only 1 run home for the Bears in the bottom of the 5th. What a throw by Fox in center field to gun down Mackey at second and keep this a 2-run game. 5-3 after 5 on the Bears Sports Network.
If you play hard, if you use your feet to chase fitness goals, if you stand all day at work, introducing True Energy Infrared Technology Socks. These may be the best socks you ever wear. Our yarn is infused with infrared nanoparticles. Your body's natural heat ignites these tiny particles, producing infrared energy that improves circulation and stimulates cellular recovery. It's not magic, it's rocket science. The perfect sock for your active life, for fitness, performance, recovery. Proven innovation to ignite your true energy.
So a big turn of events there as Bears hit into a double play. Henley comes in and induces that double play. It was a deep drive to center field for Collette, but we were talking off air between innings. Mackey's probably got to just stay at first base there, or at least recognize that the throw's on and get himself into a rundown. Got tagged out before Perino could even get home. Got to get that run in if you're the Bears. And the first pitch of the inning is roped down the right field line off the bat of Nick Vea, who's got his second hit of the day. And
finishing that up, I like the aggressiveness. He should tag up there, but once he saw the throw on line, stop, get back to first, or as you said, make sure the run scores and get yourself in a rundown, worst case scenario. And then one pitch, leadoff hit.
Yeah, so Anderson, I think everyone here knew that Anderson was going to be a tough opponent this whole weekend, and they certainly have proven that in their play today. Strike one to Fox, who started that double play. That was hit pretty hard, and you got to feel for Collette, who's hit two balls really hard, but has hit into two double plays today.
He did his job at 2-0. He drove something.
100%
got
did.
a little bit underneath it, but
still,
with
one out, I mean, that's the job done there for him.
It was,
and fouled back on the second pitch for Fox, 0-2. So, Reed, early in the season we saw it was one inning for everyone in the Bear bullpen, but now that we've reached conference play and these games are, tightened up a little bit, you see guys the Bears trust going a little bit further. Reed gets his second inning. See Michael Allen warming up down there. He'll be a guy, when he's going good, that will get multiple innings out of the pen. He's one of the guys that they really do trust. He's been here for a while.
I like the 2 innings. You don't see everyone in the lineup, so
if you're doing your job, you don't.
Exactly.
1-2 on Fox, who is 0 for 1 today with a sac bunt. Came in hitting .313. 25 for 80 before this one today for Justin.
Yeah, 3 hits Monday against Emmanuel?
This one's popped up right field. Bell comes on and calls off Laskowski. Good little lazy fly ball induced there for Jackson Reed for the first out of the 6th. We're cruising along pretty well.
Oh, just jinxed it.
I know, but it doesn't matter what I say. But pitchers, for the most part, other than that last half inning, throwing strikes.
You're going to be late to the Michigan State tip-off now.
Oh, no. No. I was thrilled to see the 5 p.m. first pitch because, 9:40 p.m. tip in March Madness means 10, more 10. Like 10:15. Yep. So we got plenty of time to work with here, Jason. You got to stay positive. You got to speak it into existence here.
We're going to beat North Georgia on Catawba 18 innings, huh?
Oh, God.
The 13-inning game was the 5th longest game of the year against Georgia Southwestern for us.
That game, by the way, was Coach Ramirez's 250th career head coaching win.
Yep.
That 258 right now.
Was his first win at LR was his 200th, if I believe, correct, right?
I can check on that for you, but I believe you.
COVID year.
He won 200. He's 62-31 at Lenoir-Rhyne.
Yep.
258, 154, and 1. I got to ask him about the one tie he's got on the ledger.
He's the only coach that lost a game during COVID, though.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Didn't hear that story? That was the year before you. I can't. Oh.
Tell the story then.
I'm trying to think who it was. I got to look it up. Okay, it was a good one. I can't remember who we were playing. We were playing, and the rain came the year before we had the turf. And
this is only the second season of the turf as Hernandez takes a strike, 3-1. Jackson Reed still working on the mound.
Going back, my memory's failing me.
Just too much information clogging you up there. 3-1 is hammered to left center field. This is trouble back at the wall. Collette, and it's gone. Tie game. Hernandez knots us up at 5 with a 2-run shot that the wind just pushed right out of the ballpark.
Hernandez's 23rd RBI in the last 10 games.
Numbers 25 and 26 on the season. 4th home run. And it's a whole new ball game here in the 6th inning. As Coach Ramirez will come take the baseball, we'll give you that'll give you some time to check on your info as Reed exits. I think Michael Allen's coming in on the other side of this break on the Bear Sports Network.
Hometown Ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
Carolina West called to the bullpen for Lenoir-Rhyne here in the top of the 6th. We're all tied up at 5 after the 2-run home run from Carlos Hernandez. Knots us up. Michael Allen making his 12th appearance of 2022. Only pitched 8 innings, but 6 hits, 1 earned. And the 1 earned was a home run way back in early February. 9 strikeouts and has not walked one single batter. 1.13 ERA for the veteran that is as trustworthy as they come out of the pen for the Bears, who find themselves in a dogfight now with Anderson.
Yes, indeed. Missed opportunities.
Yep, especially on offense.
How quick the Ties return. Mackey stays at first. We score another run.
It's at least a 6-5 game at this point. But if ifs and
that.
buts were candy and nuts, oh, what a Christmas we'd have, Jason.
Well, how about Kuda throwing the ball third and Young don't score on the double down the line, so that's 2 runs that could have been swung, the momentum. But either way, these are games we want to get ready for postseason, so got to find a way to win it.
Bears have only been to the NCAA tournament once in 94 years of baseball. That was back in 2001.
Wow.
Trying to make it number 2 here in 22. Jackson Young fouls off the first pitch. All right, you did your research over the break. I'm ready for you now.
So we played Erskine that day.
Drew Unesta was here that day.
He played shortstop that day.
Wow, okay.
1 for 3, by the way.
Okay,
so
thank you.
We had a 5-1 lead. They chipped away, scored 2 runs in the top of the 6th, take a 6-5 lead.
Okay.
And then the 6th inning, bomb dropped. Complete game, you know.
Right, that was like, we're canceling the season.
Yes, yeah.
That was when that news
but this was early in the year before, and we were supposed to play them later in the year.
Early to mid-March,
so
right?
Coach Ram comes up here with Erskine's coach, and they convinced them to finish the game when we were supposed to go to Erskine. So we kept it as suspended, so no record game.
Sure.
So obviously, the season unfortunately gets canceled a couple weeks later.
So it officially got canceled a couple weeks later. Yeah. They just decided we're going to suspend it and then do it.
Yeah, so we played another week, probably another week, 10 days, and then unfortunately with COVID-19, they canceled the rest of the season. So later that summer, we had to figure out what to do with this game. And obviously, it was a complete game. Went 5 innings, so technically it was a loss for the Bears. So during the summer of COVID, Coach Ram took a loss.
I'm sure he's really appreciative of you just telling that story.
That's all Jay-Z. Jay-Z made that decision.
Okay. Well, if there's ever an opportunity to blame Jay-Z for something, we got to, right? Jackson Young struck out against Allen. And now Owens, who had the big knock, 2-run double in the fourth that brought it within 1. Bears added a run, and then the 2-run home run for Hernandez knotted us up at 5 here in the 6th. So Anderson fell behind 4-0 and has fought back 1-1 on Owens, who, in addition to that 2-run double, has bounced into a double play today.
That was the first Owens hit against the Bears. He went 0 for 10 last year against the Bears in the 4-game series.
LR took 3 out of 4 down at Anderson. This is the first trip for the Trojans to Hickory since 2019. Been over 3 years since Anderson has been here. I keep thinking it's 2021, but...
So what are they doing next year when Henry come? Do they split into divisions for baseball?
Yes. Yep. Same divisions that you'll see in basketball next year, with Emory and Henry joining the SAC.
So you're going to play your 6 other teams in division
Yep.
and a couple crossover games?
I don't know how many series they play now, but yes, that is going to be the format.
Right now it's 8 out of the 12.
So yeah, so it'll be, so the Bears will never miss Wingate and Newberry again.
So they'll be in the same division?
Yep. In the, I don't know what they're calling it. I think it's the Piedmont division.
Okay.
At least that's what it's called
Catawba
in football.
too?
Yep, Catawba will be in. It'll be LR, Queens, Wingate, Newberry, Catawba, and there's one more in there, I think Coker. This one's hammered to left field off the bat of Owens. Collette at the wall, and he leaps, and it's gone. Almost brought it back. Crashed into the wall, but 2 home runs in this inning for Anderson has given them their first lead. As Collette, I hope, is okay. Seems to just be more frustrated that he couldn't bring it back. But the wind, Trojans using the wind to their advantage here in the 6th inning and have taken their first lead. Just gusting out there to left field. That ball just barely snuck past Collette. I think he timed his jump pretty well, but I'm not sure he was in the greatest spot. I think it just missed his glove, but that ball was moving so fast it didn't have hardly any time to set himself up. So
he got closer than I thought.
Yeah.
He did a great job tracking it.
Got closer than most everyone else would have probably, but 3 in the 4th and 3 in the 6th here for Anderson have given the Trojans the lead. But LR working against the Anderson bullpen coming up. Still lots of time left in this game as this one's grounded foul off the bat of J.C. LeGrand.
I don't think 6 runs is going to win this game.
No. Especially, Bears got to use the wind to their advantage. They already did a little bit with Ynesta's home run in the first, but haven't really gone that way since then. Not a great day to be a pitcher when it's blowing out like that. Another one to deep left center. Collette on the run. So is Kuda. Kuda, and it lands between them and bounces off the scoreboard, I thought. It bounced and then bounced off the scoreboard as Attiles brings it home. Should be a ground rule double as the ball bounced and clanked off the scoreboard, and now they will send him back to second base as LeGrand is up at third base, but definitely one hopped off the scoreboard and back into play. So a ground rule double for J.C. LeGrand after he had struck out in both of his at-bats so far today. And now Anderson's extra base hits are piling up here in the middle innings.
That's interesting. I mean, home play umpire, that's his call.
It was pretty clear.
Yeah, why didn't he wait till the play stopped and then tell him to go back?
And the third base umpire was right out there. I don't know how he didn't see it.
I'm not sure of the rotations. Usually it's home play with 2 men, but 3 men, maybe the left field third base umpire at that time runs out there and check it.
I'm not sure what the rotation is, but they got the call right.
Yeah.
And Van Ness takes a breaking ball at the bottom of the zone for strike one. A good bounce back pitch there from Michael Allen.
A little late, but got it right. That's the most important.
Yep.
Collette looked like he hit the fence again.
Gosh, Colette's just a battering ram out there in left field.
Football coming out of him.
Right. Coach Ram said he's a little crazy. He's just you gotta be to play safety or slot receiver to run across the middle in a football game. So makes sense. 1-1 on Van Ness, who's 0 for 2.
Guessing he's missing spring game.
I would think, given that the Bears have a game
Mars
that
Hill.
day.
Yeah, that's Mars Hill weekend, right?
April 9th is the spring game. So nope. Here against UVA Wise, and Allen snags it right next to his ear hole. Is that one almost up the middle off the bat of Van Ness? But the side is retired. 2 home runs in the inning for Anderson have given them their first lead. 6-5 Trojans as we head to the bottom of the 6th on the Bears Sports Network.
Hey Bears fans, Dave here with Everett Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac, your local hometown dealer since 1967. Come see us in Hickory or Morganton to check out all of GM's hottest new products, the area's largest selection of pre-owned vehicles, and service you can depend on. Visit us online at everettchevy.com. Good luck to the Bears this season, and remember, if you didn't get an Everett deal, you didn't get a deal at all. Go Bears!
Emergencies don't wait. Get to the hospital. Accidents happen. Get well soon. When it hurts to move forward, tackle your pain. Don't make your health wait. See your doctor. Your health means everything.
Second inning of work for Landon Henley, who got Anderson out of a bases-loaded jam in the bottom of the 5th with a unconventional 8-4 double play. Faces David Bell to start the bottom of the 6th and pumps in a strike to the righty Bell. And now 0-2. Down in the dirt, 1-2. David, the redshirt sophomore from Kings Mountain. On your way to Anderson, you can go to Kings Mountain.
Whew.
The 1-2 pitch. He got him on strikes. I think the umpire forgot that it was strike 3. But a fastball on the corner from Henley gets Bell, and quickly one out here in the bottom of the 6th. Anderson grabbed their first lead of the game. Here in the top of the 6th, 2 home runs in the inning for the Trojans boost them up to a 6-5 lead. But now the fourth time through for the Bears and Wade Kuda.
Yeah, first time facing Henley, though. That looks pretty impressive early.
Two 2-0 to Kuda, who's 1 for 2 with a walk today. Gotten big hits in situations like this all season long. Took a big hack at that one and tipped it back for strike 1. Hits this one off the handle the 3rd. Owens charges, makes a nice running play for it. And quickly 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Both times, or the first time Anderson had a big inning, they've gotten all 6 of their runs in 2 innings, 3 in the 4th and 3 in the 6th. And after they put up a 3 spot in the 4th, they set the Bears down in order in the bottom half of that inning, so trying to do the same. Big confidence booster for a team that's able to do that. Luis Attile is trying to prevent it. And he hits a ball high and deep to center. Fox back at the track, and he makes another leaping catch, crashing into the wall. And he's slow to get up as Young, the left fielder, is trying to attend to him. But now he's up and heading back to the dugout. 3 different times Fox has gone back to the warning track and made a nice play. And the Bears go down in order in the 6th. We head to the 7th. 1-run lead for Anderson, looking to steal the first game of this series on the road on the Bear Sports Network.
Everything the light touches will be yours. You must remember who you are. The one true champion. We are LR.
We are.
We are.
We are.
We are.
We are LR. We are LR.
Another Carolina West call to the bullpen brings the veteran lefty Joey Cobb to the mound, probably to face the lefties that are coming up in the Anderson lineup. Joey making his 9th appearance of the season. Got off to a rocky start, but has been really good of late. 13 1/3 innings this year for Joey, 2.7 ERA. Pitching from behind right now as the bunt is popped up off the bat of Hanvey, and Clarno scampers over and grabs it in foul ground for the first out, so can't ask for a better start out of the pen if you're Joey Cobb.
As you said, face the lefties. Cobb has not even given up a hit to a lefty this year.
Yeah, well, it makes sense why he's up in this situation. Andrus, leadoff man coming up, so 4th time through the lineup now for the Trojans, who are out-hitting the Bears in this game, 9-8. Had 7 hits in the last couple of innings. All 1 to Andrus, who's 0 for 3. He's the only Trojan that has yet to reach base today.
So dropped him a 3 for his last 23.
The leadoff spot, that's not what you want if you're the Trojans, but, I mean, he's proven that he can do it.
He started off red hot.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone goes through that during the 50-game season.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully it stays cool until Sunday.
Baseball season is such a grind. 3-0. LR, go ahead, Jason.
I can't believe we're halfway through already.
I know, past halfway.
Yep.
LR is 22-0 this year when they out-hit their opponents. And 1-1 when the other team has more hits, and 1-1 when the hits are tied. There's a strike.
How about trailing at the 6? What's the record this year?
Trailing after 6, 1-2.
1-2.
So both of their losses, they've been behind at this juncture of the game.
What was the win? Which one was the
Coker game?
Coker.
where the Bears came back and walked off the Cobras. They're down 5 in that game.
Yes,
This
right.
is this 1-run deficit is nothing compared to that.
That was a 7. This is a 9.
Down 7-2 in a 7-inning game and ended up winning 8-7.
Yep. Got home just in time for your call.
Yeah, you guys were done way earlier than us at softball that day. Good bounce back there for Joey Cobb after falling behind 3-0. Gets Andrus down on strikes. And 2 up and 2 down here against Joey in the 7th.
So what do you see at Cobb's role for the rest of the year with, midweeks, just one game a midweek now lately, 3 games on the weekend, not 4 as early in the year.
I like him in the middle innings.
Yep, I do too.
I think this is a good spot for him right here. Especially, the Bears 99 times out of 100 will start a righty because their 3 weekend starters are all righties.
I think you need a lefty.
Tanner Moyer's their midweek starter, also a righty. And, Caleb Cockerham has maybe established himself as the Bears' go-to lefty out of the pen, but Cobb has certainly pitched well enough. As this one's into the outfield grass, Laskowski transfers and doesn't have a chance to throw out Nick Vea, who's now 3 for 4 today. Had him played. They had the shift on to hopefully stop that base knock, but Vea still found the hole and is aboard with 2 gone here in the top of the 7th. Vea's come around to score in both of his previous 2 singles.
Let's not make it 3 here.
Justin Fox will try to do that. 0 for 2 with a sac bunt today for Justin. Looks to bunt again, but with 2 outs, probably just bunting for a hit.
With the lefty on the mound, it's a good idea. You get Ness that's back way back. Lefty has to turn his body, so I like that idea. But again, Fox has coming off his 3-hit game.
Yeah, been really good of late. There's a strike right at the bottom of the zone. Just a touch below the kneecaps, it looks like. 1-1. Joey with a epic, like Luigi-like mustache. This one's chopped left side, way up in the air for Ynesta. Has to hurry, and Fox is safe. That's just product of the turf there. Nothing Ynesta can do better there. Just beat it into the ground, and it bounced a little bit too high. And the speedy Fox has an infield single.
Yep. Back-to-back infield singles.
Puts 2 on for Hernandez, who tied the game last inning with a 2-run home run. It's 2 for 2 with a walk, so is yet to be retired today. Just a little bit of bad luck there for Joey Cobb. I think he's trimmed the mustache a little bit. Maybe not, but it looks like Mario and Luigi.
Maybe, Mario Day was last Thursday, 310, so maybe he was doing that to honor them.
Maybe. I'm glad that you know when Mario Day was, Jason. Oh, goodness.
It's actually a pretty big thing, all the video games on sale that day.
Talking to a guy that waited 5 hours outside of Best Buy for a PS5 here, so 6 hours, pardon me.
It was only 30 degrees. I was like, it was minus. It was freaking cold.
Hernandez waves and misses 1-1. Cobb calls time and wants a new baseball. Just had Pie Day, too.
Yep.
March 14th.
Stone Cold Steel Auction Day was 3/16. March is a busy month for days.
Yeah, for these really big, important days. Pie Day, Stone Cold Steve Austin Day, Mario Day. I mean, we got all the heavy hitters in March.
Cereal Day was the 5th.
Oh, great. Hernandez on the ground right side and through. Laskowski was holding him on. And this will score a run. 3 2-out knocks strung together for Anderson. Caught the defense out of position there, and they've stretched the lead to 2 with 7-5. I don't know what Laskowski was really doing out there, trying to
him and Cobb on
maybe hold on the runner. But, with 2 outs, just got to get the batter, and that's just a routine ground ball to second base if he's where he normally is.
Another little miscue.
Little things hurting the Bears today. Sure we already are going back to look at the double play that Bears would have scored a run on if not for the Mackey trying to tag up at first to go to second.
Not keeping a runner at first with 2 outs. And then this play.
Talk about bad luck for Joey Cobb. It's an infield single for Vea, an infield single for Fox. Nothing the defenders could have done on either play. And then it gets a regular routine ground ball that would have been right at Laskowski at second, but he doesn't have him played right. This is popped foul off the bat of Jackson Young. And 2 strikes. Jackson struck out in the 6th, but has a single and a run scored today.
Big pitch here, 0-2. Lefty-lefty matchup.
Want to keep this lead at 2. The 8th run for Anderson, 90 feet away. Cobb works the third base side of the rubber, and that hits him in the head. Young off the helmet. Seems to be okay. Goodness gracious, that's just more, I think, jars you than anything else. I think he's fine, obviously.
But
did they say he swung? I think he might have just caught.
Yep.
I think the home plate umpire, did he call it a swing initially? I didn't see any signal.
He didn't run the first at all. Live, I thought it hit him. I didn't think he swung, but
I think maybe his momentum turning around could have brought the bat over the plate, but umpires are getting together. Take a look at our Spengler replay
did it go off
here.
the bat?
I think it hit him in the helmet.
Yeah, so did I.
And are they keeping him there? Let's see. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think that replay really provides much clarity there.
Well,
so they're calling it a foul ball.
Yeah, it has to. That's the only option, yes.
Because it's not strike 3 because he'd be out.
So did it go off his bat and off his? If it hit him straight in the helmet, I think he would have been down. I know I would be down.
I don't know. I thought it.
Yeah. I'll still
to
be
my
down.
eye, I thought it hit him in the helmet.
So did I. I agree 100%. But
and that replay, I still kind of think it hit him in the helmet. But,
yeah, but 2
I
strikes,
don't know.
the only option would be a foul ball. But hey, big break.
Yeah, that is a break for the Bears.
Do you come
Trying
back
to use
inside?
it. I don't think so.
No.
Doesn't come back inside, and Young fouls it off. I don't know. We're inside. Normally we're outside. Maybe could have a better gauge of based on the sound that ball made, but we're here in the box. So
with the windows,
hard to tell with the windows closed given the wind situation.
Be blowing right into us.
Yeah. Another 0-2. Flared the other way, just threw the bat at it and stayed alive. Anderson, tough in the box. Played just the gauntlet of a schedule here in conference play. Wingate, Catawba, and now here in Hickory. Trying to win the first game of this series against the number 18 team in the country.
It's a huge series for them if they want to make the conference tournament.
Absolutely. 1-2.
Because they still got Newberry coming up.
Yeah. That's not the next series, but the series after that. Yeah. So 3 out of their first 4 series are against Wingate, Catawba, or 4 out of their first 5, Wingate, Catawba, Lenoir-Rhyne, and Newberry.
You got 6
Welcome to the SAC.
Exactly.
1-2. Down and away. Clarno just solid as ever back there. 2-2. Three in the 4th, 3 in the 6th, and 1 here in the 7th for Anderson. Gotten 3 straight hits with 2 outs. The 2-2 pitch from Cobb. Away again. Full count.
And Paneros will be behind the runner here. 3-2. Hernandez is going to get the jump.
Yep.
He's waving his hand right now. Say, what am I doing? Lefty is not as bad because Cobb's looking right at him.
Perino backs off of first base. Won't hold.
Yeah,
and now backs way back.
That's the right baseball move there.
100%. There goes Hernandez. This is a ground ball, and Perino on the short hop. Had him played perfectly, but has to hurry. They crash. Perino records the out. Goodness gracious. Yeah, hold your breath. But the side is retired. Anderson adds another. 3 2-out hits in a row for the Trojans. Extend the lead to 2. 7-5. Time to stretch at Durham Field. Bears trying to mount a comeback on the Bear Sports Network.
I'm Rob with Center Street Eats. We're located at 2250 North Center Street in Viewmont. We offer fast dine-in and carry-out service. Usually your prepared meals at lunch from 11 to 3 are ready within 5 minutes. Center Street Eats also offers prepared meals and snacks, protein bars, smoothies, and so much more. We can accommodate most allergy restrictions and can adjust our weekly menu to comply with the most current trending diets like keto and paleo. Street Eats has helped fuel the sports programs at Lenoir-Rhyne for over 10 years now. We work with every program on campus, and we look forward to working with them again.
Third time today that Drew Yanesta has led off an inning, as he does here in the bottom of the 7th against Henley. Still rolling, 2-run lead for Anderson over Lenoir-Rhyne, 7-5. Eric Bach, Jason Stubbe, glad you are along with us on this Friday night. First pitch to Yanesta, big hack and a miss, pitch down in the dirt. They haven't played to pull. Fox in center in the gap, and Van Ness in right field, in right center field. Yanesta goes down the right field line. It'll run forever. As the chopper to third. Owens misplays it. He's going to be safe. That's a tough play on the backhand for Owens. And I think, as our official score gives Yanesta an infield single here, that's the right call.
Absolutely, that's a single. Only way he can get it is get that off the bounce, had a backhand it with the base right there. No extraordinary play there. So it's a base hit in the book.
The third of the day for Yanesta, who has a 2-run home run and a single other than that one. So a good start to the bottom of the 7th for the Bears, trying to come from behind for the 4th time this season. Been in this situation. Clairno takes a fastball at his ankles for ball 1. LR 2-0 tied after 7 this year, but 1-2 trailing after this 7th inning. Yanesta fakes the steal. Slider stays up, 2-0 to Clairno.
How short a leash do you have on Henley here?
Feels like the leash is pretty long, given that there's a lot of people standing in the Anderson bullpen, but nobody throwing. Clairno takes a big swing on 2-0 and fouls it off.
I think this is his game.
I think so, too. I mean, sub-1 ERA this year in over 10 innings. Pitched well against the top of the league. He pitched against both Wingate and Catawba. Hasn't given up a run against either.
He hasn't faced this year the second time around the lineup.
True. Good point. Longest outing is 2 1/3 this year.
He'll surpass that if he pitches this inning. A lot of little decisions coaches have to make in the game.
Clairno 2 for 3 today. Yanesta runs. The pitch is high. The throw is missed at second base. That would have had him there if LeGrand can catch it. It was a perfect throw from Hernandez. But Yanesta
3-1.
Given the stolen base.
So that's an interesting count to send the runner.
Yeah.
No outs.
4th steal of the year for Yanesta. He's now 4 for 5 stealing bags.
Don't think it was a hit and run.
No. Clairno didn't swing at the pitch.
Yeah, it was high, but
it was way high. It was a perfect pitch to throw on for Hernandez, and he made a great throw.
Yep.
It's a difference. That's maybe the difference between winning and losing games right there. There's a strike on 3-1 to Clairno, the outer half, but if LeGrand can hold on to that ball and Yanesta's out, who knows? Could be a very different outcome this inning. Now somebody is throwing in the Anderson bullpen. Full count pitch to Clairno. Line drive towards the gap and down in front of Van Ness for a base hit. They hold Yanesta up at third. Had to put the brakes on at second because it wasn't a sure thing that ball was going to get down. But it did. Clairno's 3rd hit of the day. And now the Bears are threatening tying run on first base with nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th.
Van Ness was playing more. He's playing way in right center.
That's to the fence if he is played normally where a right fielder is. So the defensive positioning there saves a run for Anderson.
That's interesting positioning there.
They had him played Unesta and Clairno the same way. So
and looks like now with Pinillo.
And time is called.
This is to
give the bullpen some time as the messenger pigeon is making his way down to the bullpen to figure out who they want to throw.
This is mound visit 3, so they only got 3 more left.
It's not an actual messenger pigeon. It's just a player on the bench. But
he's going
if you're just joining us, we had a big discussion earlier about how they actually communicate who needs to be throwing to the bullpen. But a big spot here. At least feels like Bears at least got to draw even here in this inning. Feel good heading to the 8th. They got the right part of the order coming up to do that. Tony today, 1 for 2 with a double and a walk. And this one's crushed to right center field. Fox back, and it's down into the gap and up against the wall. Clairno held up at third. Almost ran through the stop sign. Now has to go back to third where he's safe. The second double of the day for Perino. Cuts the lead in half at 7-6. So they had him played towards the right center field gap, but Perino just hit it over both of their heads. The tying run 90 feet away with nobody out here in the 7th.
And Clairno read that very well.
He did. He knew that it was... I'm surprised they didn't send him, frankly.
With no outs, I don't send him.
Yeah.
And it was a good relay, so I agree with Coach Rand without no send there. You trust your lineup here with no outs. Now, 1 out, 2 outs. 2 outs, I'm definitely going.
Yep. The outfield defense has been excellent today for Anderson.
Yes.
They've made some really nice running plays on the warning track. They've made good throws in, especially Fox in center field.
So Anderson has the infield in here with no outs, with a 1-run lead. I don't know if I agree with that either.
Well, I mean, you got the Bear bullpen. You got the teeth of the bullpen coming up in the 8th and 9th.
It shows me how much you trust your bullpen.
Well, your
offense has been red hot.
I guess. Laskowski fouls the second pitch off. It's 1-1.
So I'm guessing you like it.
I don't hate it.
Okay.
Bears have hit into 2 double plays today in situations like this. So,
maybe they know Clairno's aggressive, so maybe they have a play.
Keep on keeping on.
He's going on contact if I'm him.
100%. 1-1.
We saw what he can do against Georgia Southwestern to score the winning run.
True. It's a constant chess match going on out
in this
here.
game, definitely. Both
coaches, and this has been a well-coached game. I think that I've agreed with everything Anderson has done. I liked when they kept the start. I liked it. I know you didn't, but I did. 2-1. Inner half. Surprised Laskowski didn't go after that one, 2-2.
I would have pulled Cone 1 batter earlier.
And he did walk in a run, so I guess you were, maybe hindsight's 20/20, but you were proven right in that situation. But yeah, the infield in. Outfield shifts even more to their right, our left. Big gap down the right field line. Laskowski chops it foul and stays alive. But, what's the decision here? You got your 1-run lead, still nobody out.
Yeah, don't play the big inning. Get the out. Let them tie the goal. We still got 2 innings. I play middle back, corners in.
I just think that they feel like they're lucky to have gotten as much as they have already off the Bear bullpen.
And I agree with that. Miscues.
2-2. Laskowski down the left field line and foul. Young in left is very shallow. Plays towards the line and very shallow.
It feels like a bomb in the 9th.
It does.
Instead of the 7th.
That's as shallow as I've seen a left fielder play at this park this year. It's especially odd given the way the wind is blowing straight out to left field. 2-2. Laskowski right to left field for a base hit. Clairno in. Perino held up. And we are tied at 7. Laskowski just gets big hit after big hit.
It has to be,
comes through again here.
It has to feel good after his stretch the last couple of games to get these big hits today.
Yeah, 0 for his last 15 coming in, and then 2 hits and 2 RBIs today for Laskowski, and I think the end has come for Henley. So the Bears have tied things up. They continue to just mash opposing bullpens. We'll try to take this lead back. Another Carolina West called to the bullpen for the Trojans. We'll tell you about the new pitcher when we come back to Durham Field on the Bear Sports Network.
Hometown Ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
Another Carolina West call to the bullpen for the Trojans of Anderson brings in a guy that's got to be on the all-name list here in the SAC, Andrew Imperator to the hill. 6'4", 205-pound lefty from New Hyde Park, New York. Transferred to Anderson from the New York Institute of Technology back in 2020. 3 wins last year, 5.5 ERA and 6 starts. This season has started all 6 games he's appeared in, so this is his first bullpen appearance. I feel like Anderson's throwing all their chips to the center of the table in this game, knowing that Andrew Patrick and Josh Lanham are pitching tomorrow.
I don't know. I wish I had more information, but that's strange.
Obviously, probably not going to start Imperator tomorrow if you're using him here in the 7th in a tie game. Nobody out. Runners on the corners. Cole Laskowski just knocked in the game-tying run. Look at the colors. Daylight savings time has really extended, obviously, the daylight, which goes without saying, but the colors that are here in Hickory as the leaves really start to come in, just breathtaking. Matt Mackey trying to give the Bears the lead back. They're up 4-0 in this game. There's a look back to first at Laskowski.
I think he threw over there to see if Mackey was button.
Probably true. Mackey already has an RBI bunt in this game.
I'm sure that came from the call from the dugout. Say, hey, let's see if he's going to squeeze here. Show something maybe.
And Mackey didn't show, but doesn't mean he's not bunting. And looked like for a second that he was shifting his bat to bunt, but then didn't. It's ball 1 down and away.
All even, 7 runs, 12 hits, no errors for both teams.
Yep. Identical box score. Been a really well-played game so far today. 1-0. There's the bunt. Mackey gets it down. The go-ahead run is in. Mackey claps his hands on his way to first base. Job done. And the lead is back in the hands of the Bears.
He still don't have a bat today then, huh?
Yeah. A walk, sacrifice, RBI bunt. Walk, sacrifice, RBI bunt. He's 0 for 0 today with 2 RBIs. 3 RBIs. Bases loaded walk, too. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
I've seen a lot of box scores. That's going to be one I have not seen to my knowledge.
So the Bears 3 spot here in the 7th. This is the most they've scored in an inning so far today. Looking for more with Braden Collette.
And all happened because a drop ball on a stolen base.
Yeah. And we said it at the time that go back to that if this turns into a big inning, because Yanesta should have been thrown out at second, and LeGrand dropped it. Hernandez, the catcher, made a perfect throw, and then things snowballed from there for Anderson.
I think the loser of this game, the coaches will really think we lost. We beat ourselves.
Yeah. Collette goes fishing, grimaces about it, and is down 0-2. Braden's had an unfortunate day at the plate. He's hit a ball really hard in his last at-bat. The deep center should have been a sacrifice fly and an RBI, but the base running mishap turned it into a double play through no fault of his own. Hit a ball really hard into a double play in the second inning on a hop to Andrus, the shortstop. So after a 4-for-4 day when nothing could have gone wrong for him, everything has today. But that's the nature of the beast, especially when you're just trying to find your way in your first college season. Oh and 2 on Collette. 1-2 on Collette. Young and left is backed up. He was super shallow a couple batters ago when Laskowski knocked in the tying run.
Man, Ness is more into the traditional.
Still pretty far off the line.
Still a lot of room there. Especially with the lefty on the mound.
1-2 to Collette. 2-2 up at his letters.
As you said with your approach, it was right field.
Wind has calmed down a bit. It was gusting earlier. Anderson hit those two out of the park in the sixth, really aided by the wind. Yanesta's home run in the first, really aided by the wind. But it's chilled out here. Collette handcuffed by that breaking ball and waves and misses for a big out number 2 for Imperator, who's been good since he's come in. And now David Bell tries to widen this lead even more.
David Bell hitting .478 with 2 outs.
Not bad.
5-16 with runners in scoring position. Be a nice time to add to that.
That's why he's got 26 RBIs at the bottom of the Bear lineup. Because the guys in front of him have certainly been on base.
Yes.
And he's gotten a chance to drive them in, and he's come through more often than not. High and wide, ball 1. Look at Laskowski back there. Leads the Bears in stolen bases. 6 for 6. Yet to be thrown out this year. But definitely probably not running here. You never want to make the last out of the inning at third base, but especially in this situation.
Well, 1 out, he was more flat. Like now with 2 outs, he got more deeper, like so he can score on a base hit.
Sure.
So I wonder with 1 out if he was thinking about it, especially off a lefty maybe.
I doubt that he has the green light.
No, but not.
He's not like blazing fast, but just a really smart base runner.
Exactly.
1-1 on David Bell. Lefty Imperator is one of the trusted arms in this Anderson pitching staff. Spikes a fastball, and it's past Hernandez. So, Laskowski moves up to third. A little bit unconventionally, but he's there, and it's 2-1 on David Bell.
Looked like they were crossed off there.
That pitch bounced 1.5 feet, 2 feet in front of home plate, and I'm not sure Hernandez had a chance at it.
No.
Bears trying to widen this lead. They were down 7-5 coming into this inning. Put up a 3 spot. Got 4 hits in a row from Yanesta Clarno, and this one's through the wickets of Hernandez, and the 9th run is in. So 2 wild pitches in a row bring Laskowski in. That is a big insurance run for the Bears. Gives that bullpen a little bit more breathing room in these last 2 innings. Perhaps a product of not being used to coming in to this situation, as Imperator has spiked 3 in a row. David Bell walks with 2 outs. And now the top of the order coming up.
Yeah, I think something's not right. The communication, they might talk about it here.
Hernandez was visibly upset after the wild pitch that brought Laskowski in, and then ball 4 certainly didn't make him any happier.
I even thought on the first one, they said it bounced quite early, but they were on the same page.
Wonder who will be next out of the Bear bullpen. I'm trying to see who's down there.
I'm going to say Floyd? Houston?
I think it's Houston.
Yep.
That would have been my guess. I don't know. You think Freeble in the save situation, or you ride Houston?
It'll be a record-breaking save opportunity, though.
Another 4 pitches in a row was David Bell almost thrown out at first by Hernandez there. 4 pitches in a row that Imperator all of a sudden has completely lost control. It is Braden Houston warming up. So Freeble has tied this program record in saves, can set it with his next one. The runner goes, Kuda swings and misses. Hernandez pump fakes it, and David Bell takes second. Don't think he caught it clean on the transfer. The second stolen base of the inning for the Bears puts the 10th run in scoring position for LR. Kuda's just had a pedestrian 1-for-3 day for him today, but a chance to knock in another here. 2-1.
It's hits in all but 2 games this year.
LR is 10-0 when they score double-digit runs this season as well. So that's a threshold that has been perfect for the Bears this season. Bell a big lead off second. Kuda takes upstairs 3-1. Look at that sky. Beautiful. What's the old saying? Pink sky, sailor's delight.
Never heard that one.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like my grandma might have said that to me. So, she's 86, God love her. Swing and a miss for Kuda.
I'm colorblind, so maybe that's why.
The count is full.
3-2. Oh. Bullpen.
Now we've got a ball coming in from the bullpen. It happens once a game.
Yes. Always there down the first baseline.
Yeah. Well, the Bear bullpen is more fenced in. I'm sure it would happen.
It has happened once this year. Yeah.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah. No lefty. Is that lefty? No lefty warming up.
Kuda swings and misses, and the side is retired. But damage done. A 4 spot in the bottom of the 7th inning for the Bears. Opens up a 2-run lead. They went into the inning down 2. They leave the inning up 2. We head to the 8th. 9-7 Bears looking for their 6th conference win on the Bear Sports Network.
Welcome to Everett Chevrolet. How may I help you?
Help, that's what we're here to do. Help you buy your next dream vehicle. Start your deal at everettchevy.com or swing by for a quick and hassle-free experience. And remember, if you didn't get an Everett deal, you didn't get a deal at all. Everett is a proud sponsor of the LR Bears.
Another Carolina West call to the bullpen brings the red-headed Braden Houston to the mound, and he has been the definition of lights out. 11th appearance of the season. He's given up 1 earned run in 10 2/3, 16 strikeouts, 4 walks, and the ERA is 0.84. So, if there was ever a guy you trust to hold on to a 2-run lead, got to be this man right here, right, Jason?
Absolutely. 1 for 24 with the bases empty against him so far this year.
Yeah, I mean, every
stat
you look at is just eye-popping.
Well, kind of like Henley from Anderson, so let's see what Houston can
just about the same amount of sample size, facing 6, 7, and 8. Owens, LeGrand, and Van Ness here in the Anderson lineup in the top of the 8th. 6 outs left for the Trojans to try to get back 2 runs, assuming they hold the Bears to nothing in the bottom of the 8th.
We definitely want to get back to the top of order this inning.
This one's popped up center field. Routine for Wade Kuda as he drifts towards the gap and grabs it. 2 pitches, 1 out for Houston in the top of the 8th. Owens, who tied the game with a home run in the 6th, harmlessly flies out here in the 8th. Braden, Iowa City native. Transferred in from Southeastern Community College and has just been a godsend for Chris Ramirez at the back end of this bullpen. So much late movement like you saw there on that slider. It looks like a fastball out of his hand and then just dives and darts every direction as LeGrand takes a strike. You know, one is off the very end of the bat down the third base line foul, 0-2. And that's the thing that Houston does. He just comes in and always throwing strikes.
But Anderson's putting the bat in the ball today with only 6 strikeouts.
Yeah, and considering Lenoir-Rhyne strikes out 12 and a half guys per 9 innings, that's a pretty admirable performance today for Anderson in the box.
Well, they're second in the sack and least amount of strikeouts, so see what gives, but each pitcher of the Bears have recorded a strikeout, but just 6 on the day.
0-2 to second base. Laskowski was playing way on the outfield grass, but charges and makes a perfect throw for the second out. All right, here's the question, and I'm holding you to this. If Houston gets Van Ness out here efficiently, does he come out for the ninth?
Yes, I say absolutely.
100% agree.
Obviously, we like Febo to get the record, but be plenty of
There will be, I was going to say, plenty of time for that.
Especially with the heart of the order coming up from the 9th for them.
Yep. Jackson Van Ness, the 8-hitter.
I like option C. Gets about 3 more runs in the bottom of the 8th.
Well.
And he still can get the save.
Maybe that too. Strike 1 to Van Ness, who lined out to the pitcher, Michael Allen, in an act of self-defense, I think. Grabbed that ball just next to his ear hole at the end of the 6th. That would have been up the middle, and if that goes up the middle, it's another run for Anderson. Maybe we're having a different conversation right now. Van Ness tried to bunt, went around, 0-2. Braden Houston looking for a perfect 8th. Dugout making a lot of noise for him. The 0-2 pitch. He got him on strikes. Froze him with a slider top of the zone. And the magical season continues for Braden Houston. 3 up and 3 down for Anderson in the 8th. The Bears looking for some insurance when you come back to Durham Field. 9-7 Bears on the Bear Sports Network.
Paramount Kia in Hickory. We want to see you driving a new Kia or, hey, a quality pre-owned Kia. We've got a huge selection of new and pre-owned Kias. You got to get to Paramount Kia in Hickory, Highway 70, ParamountKia.com.
Moret Stadium is an iconic part of LR athletics, hosting games, tailgating, marching band competitions, sports camps, and graduation ceremonies. The stadium serves as a valued focal point for the greater Hickory area. The time has come to renovate the stadium to allow LR to continue to offer our student athletes, fans, and the community an exceptional experience.
Final Carolina West call to the bullpen tonight for Anderson brings the lefty Caleb King, Georgia boy from Powder Springs, facing Attiles Uneston Clarno, 2-3-4 in this Bear lineup. Bears up 2, looking for some insurance to wrap up game 1 of this series. These two teams back at it tomorrow. We'll play 2. 7th appearance of the season for King. 6 2/3 innings logged, 6.75 ERA, but 9 strikeouts, so striking out over a batter per inning.
Yeah, the pitching staff averages 10.9 strikeouts per 9, so just shy on the Bears.
2-1 to Attiles. Lewis 0 for 4 today. Has rare off day at the plate for him. Does have a strikeout as well.
Yeah.
Only Bear not to reach base. Yeah. He and Collette, the only two.
He has reached base in the last 21 games now.
There you go. Perfect timing. Muscled that one in to center field for a base hit. Took an inside pitch back up the middle. It's hard to get that guy out 5 times in one game.
That is crazy. You have 3 players that have been on base 20 straight games, at least.
Well, I mean, when you're 24-2,
yeah, but a couple 7-inning games in there, you know. 1 I can stand, but 3 right now. Here's another one with 1. He's been on base at least once every single game this year.
Attiles, Uneston, and Kuda, the 3 you are referring to. Breaking ball off the plate.
Mikowski's been on base 21 straight games.
True. Even though he was
had
that 0 for 14 stretch.
He had walks in a couple of them. It says he was seeing the pitches, just a lot of hard contact outs.
Uneston swings and misses, and the ball is away. Hernandez can't gather it as Attiles takes second.
Don't see a swinging strike wild pitch too often.
King went to McEachern High School in Georgia. The Masters is coming up, Jason. Who's your favorite? Big golf guy? Not really?
Yes.
I figured you were.
Haven't watched much this year yet. I missed the Players' Championship.
Give me Rory.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss for Unesta. Although it does feel like Brooks needs to win the Masters. Freebull. No, I'm sorry. Spencer Floyd is warming up. So
either option A or B. They went with option C.
Well, I mean, maybe he's just warming up in case.
In case.
But I would stick with Houston if it were me.
Yeah,
Iniesta stays alive on a breaking ball, popped foul straight back.
He's gone, 2 innings in his last outing, so not abnormal.
Yeah. Drew 3 for 4 today. 2-run home run back in the first inning, which feels like an eternity ago.
Well, you said we were moving along, and that just slowed everything down.
Actually, we are moving along pretty well. We're not even 3 hours yet. 2-2. Iniesta takes a breaking ball in the dirt.
But Houston only throwing 8 pitches. Maybe he's available tomorrow with 16 innings.
Gotta be, right?
Yeah. But if he goes another inning, maybe not. So chess matches we've been talking about all day.
But then you lose Houston, but you have Floyd fresh tomorrow.
Agreed.
So, give and take.
But maybe Floyd goes 15 pitches, and he's available tomorrow too.
Iniesta strikes out and is tagged out. Went after a couple bad ones in that at-bat. Is the first out of the bottom of the 8th. Bears trying to get to that double-digit run threshold where they're 10-0 this year when they get there. Clarino trying to get him there. 3 hits for him today. Numbers 3 through 6 in the Bear lineup have 10 of the 13 hits. This one's away from Hernandez again. Now Attile's 90 feet away.
4 wild pitches in the last inning for Anderson.
Whew. Including one that scored the 9th run. That was the biggest one of them all.
Now infield's in, which I definitely agree with.
Our theory about whether or not it was the right move to move the infield in earlier never really came to fruition because there was never a chance. I still think it was the right move back then. Because, look, they're still at 7. They were at 7 back then, and here they are still at 7. Clarino goes after it, but away again. Attiles scores run number 10 for LR.
I think that's a pass ball.
I agree. But the last 2, the 9th run on a wild pitch, the 10th run on a pass ball. Anderson really shooting themselves in the foot here late in the bullpen. The sun is set here in Hickory. Clarino chops it and stays alive.
So you're excited about getting rid of daylight savings time?
Getting rid of standard time, right?
Agreed, yes.
Keeping daylight savings all year round. 100%. There's no need for us to spring forward and lose an hour of sleep. We just need to be in that time all year round. I understand it's dark in the morning, but I'd rather have daylight at the end of the day rather than the beginning. Clarino checks the swing, does not go. And the count is 2-2. So Attile's got the single, moved up to second on a wild pitch, third on a wild pitch, and then came home on a pass ball. So kind of a little league home run there for Lewis. Clarino takes ball 3 high and wide, and the count is full to Nick. In that report that we've referenced a couple times earlier in the broadcast, the biggest area of improvement in Clarino's game has been his discipline at the plate. He's showing you that in this at-bat. Fouls off another borderline pitch.
He hasn't struck out coming in today in 37 at-bats.
Yeah, I mean, that's just unheard of.
Yep. Yeah. So with 4 bats today, 41. This is 42 straight at-bats without a strikeout. Insane.
19 walks to 9 strikeouts this year. It's good if you have even one more walk than strikeout, but 10 more, and there's walk number 20. It's just really impressive to see a guy just put his mind to something and have just, it's not incremental improvement, it's massive improvement in that category.
Agree totally.
Now Perino, who's been great today.
He wants to steal a base so bad today.
Oh, goodness. Especially against the lefty. Perino's pair of doubles and a walk today for Tony, who's One of the guys you want up in situations like this beats it into the ground left side. Owens has to hurry, makes a high but accurate throw with a lot of velocity for the second out.
He's made some good plays on high choppers today.
Anderson's defense outside of the wild pitches and the one-pass ball, but the 8 behind the pitcher have been, or the 7 behind the pitcher have been phenomenal today.
Yep, I agree.
And LeGrand dropped that one at second. But other than that,
yes, that's
a big play in the game.
Yep. If the Bears hold off the win, that's the biggest play of the game. I agree completely.
That and the bunting. One of the guys that.
Yeah, they need to adjust that. Have Owens need to come in. I mean, they should have seen that.
Laskowski got maybe the biggest hit of the game so far for the Bears. An opposite field RBI single that tied the game at 7 back in the 7th. The Bears ended up taking a 2-run lead after that and hold a 3-run lead now. Two and 0.
Moss Hills beat Queens today earlier. Tussum had a 1-0 lead on Newberry.
That'd be good to see the Wolves drop a game.
Lincoln Memorial beat Wise 17-4.
Cavaliers come here in a couple weeks. And Laskowski is ahead 3-0. Coker and Carson Newman tomorrow start their 3-game series.
It'd be nice if Coker took about 2 or 3 from that.
There's a strike. Bears go to Jefferson City mid-April. It'll be a challenging series. Those are, at least on paper, the 2 most challenging series the Bears will have this year. Go to Carson Newman, go to Catawba.
And then Catawba's next week. I'm excited for that one.
I'll be going down to Salisbury on Saturday for the double, so
that's awesome.
You can listen to me on the Bears radio network.
I will be listening to you as Stanton Bears win over Lincoln Memorial in softball next week, Saturday.
Oh, predicting a big series for the ladies tomorrow. Yep. Anderson 22nd in the country coming to town.
Tomorrow, yep. And Lincoln Memorial. It's Mars Hill next week, and then Lincoln Memorial the weekend after.
Big doubleheader tomorrow at Bears Field. We'll have it for you on the Bears Sports Network. That'll be a good one. Best pitchers in the SAC against one of the best lineups in the SAC. Laskowski waves and misses and strikes out. And King puts up a 0. Or doesn't put up a 0. Gives up 1 run in the bottom of the 8th. And the lead is 3. Save situation coming for young Spencer Floyd when you come back to Durham Field as the Bears try to win their 6th conference game on the Bears Sports Network. Save situation in this Carolina West called the bullpen brings freshman Spencer Floyd to the mound, looking for his first career save. This is his 11th appearance of his freshman season. 11 2/3 innings logged, 7 hits, 1 earned allowed, 21 strikeouts to 4 walks. Opponents are hitting less than 190 against him. And the ERA is a pedestrian 0.77. So, I think maybe Bears are trying to find their permanent closer moving into the later stages of this season, and Floyd's certainly as strong of candidate as anyone.
I agree completely. Starting off with 9-1-2, I do not want to see Hernandez up in this inning, so you get the first out.
Fernandez comes up. That means runners on base.
Yep.
So I agree. He's been bad news for the Bears today. 3 hits, including a home run and a walk, so they've yet to get him out. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. James Hanvey, Kyle Andrus, Nick Vea coming up here against Spencer Floyd.
Floyd, again, another pitcher of Bears have not given up a hit to a left-handed hitter yet this year.
Spencer has logged 3 2/3 in the last couple of games for the Bears, including an inning and 2/3, scoreless with a strikeout on Tuesday in the win over Barton. So pitching for the second game in a row. Hanvey's 1 for 3 and takes strike 1 on the lower outer part of the strike zone.
Yeah, if you can live right there.
Floyd, who really brings it.
I love relievers that pitch out of the stretch with nobody on base.
I mean, it makes sense,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Feels like that's the smart thing to do, given that the biggest pitches of the game always come with runners on base.
Yep.
Relievers are often in high-pressure situations. Not that this is a super high-pressure situation with a 3-run lead, but it's higher pressure than Spencer Floyd is probably used to.
Any safe situation is at this level.
Swing and a miss, 1-2.
I don't think it phases him.
Local kid, just down the road in Maiden High School.
I play the middle school on Tuesday.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
A rivalry going here. Jason, middle school baseball, travel softball, he does it all.
Yeah.
Middle school, what is it, middle school basketball too?
I do, middle school girls basketball.
Wow.
I prefer basketball coaching girls, but compared to the boys.
Jack of all trades up here. 1-2 pitch. Inside. Looks like Hanvey wanted to go after it, but didn't really have a choice but to just lean out of the way, 2-2.
Pretty straight away in the outfield. Kind of surprised. I think they would shade him to the left center.
Two-two pitch. Swing and a miss. Gassed up the fastball outer half. 1 out.
Big out there.
First one's the most important one.
The 27th one is the hardest one.
Top of the order coming up. Andrus, who is 0 for 4. But no better time than the present if you're Anderson to get him out of his funk.
I hope he waits till next week.
Even if this ends in an Anderson loss, they certainly did themselves proud tonight.
Yeah, but it's going to sting with 6 conference loss already. With they know they have 2 tough ones tomorrow.
Another high cheese fastball that he's behind. 0-1.
You got 8 teams with three losses or less already, so it's hard to come back to get in one of the top 8 spots for the conference tournament.
They're just going to have to be perfect in these non-Wingate, Catawba, LR, Newberry games, which is easier said than done. 1-1.
And then they got a big series of Queens late at the end of the year.
It'll be interesting to
might
see
be a
how
big-
that plays out.
Yep. I mean, Tusculum's in the same boat with 7 conference losses, a tough stretch with Newberry this weekend.
1-1 on the corner.
For the
Doesn't
Bears.
like the call, 1-2.
For the Bears, keeping the same loss column with Wingate, who's off this weekend from conference play. And maybe Newberry loses at Tusculum, and they'll be tied for the conference lead at the end of the night. With Wingate and Newberry playing in a few weekends.
Yeah, hopefully for the Bears, a little cannibalism that happens there. I mean, there has to be.
17 innings, all 3 games.
And somebody has to win, right?
Yeah. Split, yeah, someone.
It'll be a 2 out of 3.
Hopefully, yeah. Which could be in Bears' favor.
As long as they take care of their business in their games. 1-2 pitch. Stays alive.
Coming back today is a huge one.
Yeah, you said it. Defense pretty straight up. Kuda shades slightly towards right center, in center. Bell straight up and right. Collette deep and left, as he should be, given the wind situation.
Yeah, no doubles defense here.
Floyd takes a little bit longer between pitches this time around and delivers the 1-2. Downstairs.
He's not one of the fastest movers. He might not like the pitch clock.
He varies. There's some guys that are really consistent. There's some outings that Spencer Floyd has come in and just boom, boom, boom. But
is the 22nd then still a rule?
A little bit more deliberate here. That was right on the edge. I think in the 9th inning, the umpires are just like, at this point, what are you going to call a pitch delay in the 9th inning of a game where you haven't even mentioned it?
I want to get back to the hotel and watch Michigan State tonight.
Watch Foster Lawyer light up Michigan State. 2-2 pitch. Flared foul.
So Davis have a guy named Luca.
Yeah. I don't want to think about it. Tyson Walker's playing though, so that's a big deal. Only Michigan State can have both of their point guards roll their ankles and within 10 seconds of the same game. 2-2 pitch. He got him on the corner. Spun the slider perfectly and has struck out the first 2 men he's faced here in the 9th, and the Bears are one out away from a series opening win and preserving this perfect home record that they're working on. This would be number 18 in a row here between the Bricks and 22. Pretty impressive.
Yes, indeed.
Vea stands between the Bears and that accomplishment. Check the swing. Missed upstairs, ball 1.
Surprised no appeal.
Must be time for a haircut for Spencer Floyd, because I don't know if I've ever seen his hat fall off as many times as it has today.
That's the win.
Fastball. Right on the black. 1-1. Ten runs, 13 hits, no errors for the Bears. 7 runs, 12 hits, no errors for Anderson. Error-free game so far. It's pretty rare in college baseball. Bears 1 strike away.
I like them, though.
Like the error-free games?
Yes.
Get in line. One, 2. Popped foul. Bears have already surpassed their win total from 2021. Haven't won 25 or more games in 6 years. 1-2. Upstairs, 2-2.
Hat come flying off again. He's 2-2 fastball outside, low.
I just think you gas up
Yep.
the fastball and challenge him.
Exactly. Solos don't hurt you here.
2-2 again. Ground ball, Laskowski. This should do it. Little bit of everything today. Come from behind win for Lenoir-Rhyne. They score 5 runs in the 7th and 8th innings to erase a deficit and win their 18th game in a row here between the bricks in 2022. First career save for Spencer Floyd. Ynesta hits a home run. Bears pitch it just well enough out of the pen. Got enough timely hits. And win their 25th game here in 2022. Any final thoughts, Jason?
A big win. Made a few minor mistakes on the base pass, and they battled through it. And big win at the 6th, attacking Anderson's bullpen, and it's going to make tomorrow a lot happier tonight. Looking for the sweep tomorrow.
Sending Josh Lanham and Andrew Patrick to the hill to try to complete the sweep. Tomorrow we're playing 2 on the Bears Sports Network. We're here at 1 p.m. for first pitch of Game 1. We hope you are as well. Final score, Lenoir-Rhyne 10, Anderson 7. For Jason Stubbe, the rest of our fantastic Bears Sports Network crew, and all the helpers that got us through some weather, some rain, some wind tonight. Eric Bach saying so long from Durham Field. This has been a presentation of the South Atlantic Conference on the Bears Sports Network.